I'm now going to throw you over to two bright shining stars. It is Scrawny and Launders.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you, gentlemen on the desk. Thank you, Cluj, because it's about damn time y'all came back well rested. Awesome fourth quarters yesterday, but I present to you the very first round of the first map, your inaugural semifinal, MOUZ and Astralis.
Back here after 10 years, man. You guys have been great sports. And now we'll see who will continue this journey. It's an unlikely rival to MOUZ to see Astralis in this semifinal, but they have certainly earned their place. They played their best CS of the event yesterday on stage.
Finally being able to do a playoff win, Astralis, a match on a stage that's a victory, so elusive, and yet that's the question now. Can they do it in back-to-back days? Well, they'll take their time here in the pistol. Starting Inferno on the T side, obviously, sat back behind the half wall. And Xerxon, this is going to be the talking point. I think Dust bringing up his statistics is so key. He was statistically the biggest fall off from group stage to playoffs throughout 2024. It's a big day for him to prove that they can do this without Shuhei.
Interesting moment, actually, because no sound made all of a sudden after they swing the half wall, and the nades come through. Astralis nades.
Never has a chance to fire back. Brolin will. He's hanging on for a bit, but Cadian goes deep. Too deep. Spinks ready to hold back on Coffin. This compromises a site, so they need to try to fight him. Great trade out of Jabby. Highest performing player for Astralis at the event.
Wait a second, they can leave. Out. They can get out of here. There's still a smoke in CT spawn. The CTs will have to respect the fact that there could be a T waiting around, and they will not have audio to give them the lead off. Now what can happen is what we're seeing right here. Device expanding to Arch. The bomb knows that it can get planted on the site in the moment, and Torzy has to understand that the threat could be looming.
So he's going to be cautious himself. Device doesn't take a forward angle, so he doesn't actually have vision as to where or if the CT is actually out. What he will eventually hear is this sprinting player behind him.
That's such a good spot to play.
It still leaves Torzy an unknown entity to the post plant, but look what it could net him. Jimpat's gonna get tapped out. That is beautiful patience from Device.
Gotta be the best spot you could play in that situation. Torzy now 1-on-2.
He's gonna use this as his chance to come back. The one downside is that Torzy has this ability to run into the site, but where the hell's the second? Astralis rocked that boat back from a B site into A, and they never showed anybody in the 2v2 where they were standing. Sure, you get tapped out as you run for it, but this is Astralis with a pistol round win.
If you watched every game before yesterday, you might not have high expectations for Astralis, but when they beat the Mongols, you could say that Mongols didn't show up and play as well as they should have, but Astralis, they went above and beyond. And when we talk about stage players, the interesting thing is the Mongols have had some moments where they aren't at full strength on the stage. The same can be said for MOUZ last year. That was the thing keeping out of them out of a lot of trophies. They have great players, but they're young. Astralis, however, they've got actually more trophies between a lot of them, especially Device by himself has more trophies than everyone on the server. And now in front of the crowd, I think he showed what that means. It's a different game up here in front of an audience this big.
Double Famas comes out for MOUZ. Force buy featuring those rifles. You know, it's definitely, I'd say, more eggs in those two baskets than spreading it across. Sometimes you'll see buys with way more nades or MP9s, but this is really, I think, fixating in on Spinks and Torzy to do something special in the second round. Now, you've got Jimmy 5-7 up on Balk. You've got Torzy peeling away from short side first, and they're wasting no time here. Astralis have already surpassed the bomb plant, and Torzy, well, he's not able to bring anybody down. That is a Jabby Mac-10 in with a double entry, and you've effectively cut off enough of this pack so that MOUZ have to go ahead and save again.
I think Dust mentioned that we see Stair, who will be opening up the B site. Well, he said entries in general, but usually it's towards B, where I think Stair shines on the T side. Over on the A site, it's Yabby a lot, because he ends up being a lurker who the pack will meet up with, and he's the one who's usually in front. His aim has been fabulous. When he finished out the Mongols, I think it was on Mirage, 2K, 2K, 3K, 3K to close the game. One of his best maps so far, for sure.
Yeah, 4 multi-kills in the last 5 rounds of that. He really was kind of the last nail in the coffin. And I think there's a cool contrast to draw between him and his entry fragging and what we're going to expect with Xerxon. You know, two guys at the tip of the spear, opposite teams, and a big responsibility to kind of exceed expectations. Coming forward with a new roster, will Xerxon's ability fall off? These were questions we were asking ourselves a week ago. And now suddenly, with Spinks in this jersey and him by his side, all seems good.
A game like this will never be able to be enough in just one best of 3 to prove something like consistency for a team like Astralis, but it can prove peak. And right now we've got the more consistent team on the other side of the board, but they're the team with the brand new IGL still figuring it out as they go. They've got higher player quality on average, and they have a system that worked extremely well for the last year. But again, watching Astralis play versus the MongolZ has you thinking. If not for that game, I'd say no chance.
It's a critical game with a lot on the line in terms of this event and beyond. And Astralis should be proud that they were able to take that one. Now, we saw the grenades just blow Xerxin out of the pistol round, so he really hasn't had a chance to get the game going. He chucks out this nade that drops Katie into half, so we'll keep a close eye on the nade fight as time goes on.
Was such a great pistol. I mean, showing themselves to Xerxin, having him fall back, then reading his fallback position, but without alarming anybody too much. You know, not getting people to leave to go look for smokes, just cutting noise completely and setting up for the triple nades like it was 2018. Beautiful move out of Astralis.
We get this 1-versus-1 duel going down on Banana. A little utility each way. Both players kind of creating a ruse. Ooh, what? USP, okay. No second from the USP, but a perfect tethering from Spinks. And if this is going to make Astralis think that he's the last guy, oh god, they're wrong. There are more layers to this defense, and Astralis are running into this. Now, a molly on Torji, he fights within this. Brolin's out with the pistol, he's been spotted, but it won't stop him. It's a double kill from default. Bomb down, Device. Oh, just with the 6 bullets left in that magazine, it's enough to get the kill and to go for this plant. Now, there's only 5 in that AK.
And Device not seeing anybody pushing as the smoke comes up means that he's nervous about the right thing.
Can't afford to miss. 5 bullets, I'll repeat it.
Whoa!
All he needs. All he needs to hold back MOUZ, who, it has to be said, positioned near perfectly.
Spending that money like ammo. Absolutely beautiful budgeting of that all-important resource by Device. Brolin can't believe his eyes.
USP set this up. It's that double 5-7 from Brolin. Playing off the tall box. First one's a blindside. Third guy in had grenades in hand, so that's an easy cleanup on Stown. Look at that. 1 bullet to spare on the FAMAS. 0 bullets left in the AK. Here we go, Torji. Ooh, never mind. We're not going all in, but this is, of course, the MOUZ first gun round.
It's a big clutch from a big game player, Device.
Good for MOUZ's sake that they keep that round costly. It'll keep them low if Astralis aren't able to win this, but Stair comes out, instant entry. Opera can't clip the player falling. He does get support from Spinks, and Torzi, beautiful, just draws them in, right? Doesn't rush it, takes his time, and he snaps onto the second to boot. Down you go off, Van, and it's a total stoppage out of MOUZ's first gun round.
Wow, they crushed it. It's a bit of a mistake for sure from Astralis not going around the big pit. That really sort of nulls Torzi's position within the site. Would have been a very hard shot for him. Obviously, hitting the instant headshot also makes up for it. But the fact that he can stay alive and himself not panic and try to do something a little too crazy gives his team time to get to him. Man, after getting the first kill from Astralis, should have been round done, especially in the fashion they did versus Big Pit. That was the player made to counter a Halls pop.
Ouch.
Wow.
Now that's a nice bank. Off the door frame and onto Stown's head.
You get to carry the bomb now. G2 aren't here, guys.
When did Jimmy become the most popular guy in the room? Quiet approach. No challenge has been offered up by MOUZ, barring that one frag grenade, and that was early days, so 45 seconds. Ooh, good.
Oh!
Little headbutt from Brolin. That's
that
gonna
works.
Yeah, give him a little room to work around this. Check it out. He's gonna come challenging around the side.
No
He can't
way.
just stare, but that's the thing. It draws him into the action. Device ends up getting the double kill. So great recovery
Whoa.
from Device. Near lineup out of Spinks.
The lurk here from Yabby.
It's him versus Torzi, still both over on A.
Torzi knows that he's around here, but Yabby looks like he's outsmarted him a little bit, and there's time pressure.
Yep.
Torzi has to join the fight.
Let's see if Jabby's able to blindside him or whether the CTs get the retake going first. Jabby taking his sweet
They
time.
missed a molly.
No way.
That's round done, unless...
He's turned. You've now at least got Jabby occupied. Jimmy's going to go down to the sight hole. Down goes the flank as well. And you know where Spinks was this whole time.
The best part about this lurk is
they actually
now,
let their guard off. And so he's going to keep the pressure up. There's no
Whoa.
time to defuse this. Everybody settle down. But it's still cost effective, and excellence out of this flank from Jabby, surviving even on 4 health.
Wow, close call. Nicely done from Jabby. Looked a little scary when he got spotted, but the best part about that is that if he stays alive long enough, even if he doesn't get the kill right away, there's no way to exit. You know, you are there to fight. So this is like what Heroic did so well when they were in their prime, was with their double-layered lurks between Stow and Jabby, they were able to always punish when they won rounds, making sure you could never save guns. So this is a brutal round to lose. But because Torzi handled things on the A site in round 5, they still have enough money to put something together. It's not a lot, and they might even consider just half investing. But immediately we see an Exertion get all his nades, and they go in for full guns.
Shout out Device one time for being able to bring that back. It was effectively 3 versus 5. That smoke grenade that gets headbumped by Brolin, you think, is this the chance to shut down the attack? In reality, he kind of gets stuck within the edge of that smoke spam. Check it out, right? Limitations both sides. So this game is definitely teetering on a narrow margin. This round comes with an edge in the next for either.
Yeah, it's a have-to-finding moment for MOUZ to get back on track, or it's just going to have to be one hell of a comeback if their money gets crushed. Astralis recognize the opportunity. They come in slow. The calls have been solid. Good spacing. One small moment where there's not enough conviction on the swing towards the A site. It's actually Pimp who highlighted their lane takes being the weaker ones.
See if that comes back to be true yet again here in the 6th, but we do have a bit of a challenge queued up.
They're in the front door right now, but they don't have the bomb. And we've seen Astralis forget the bomb, actually, so it's not a small thing. What a view he's got here.
Yeah, just peeping over from the neighbor's place. Waiting for somebody to walk it up, and sure enough, it almost catches him fully. Nice!
No!
Spink swings
That's
in,
insane.
Double kill. What a reaction to just snap over to stare.
Yeah.
Now the bomb is still incoming, but what they don't know is Torzi's crossed over into the cubby. But he's on 2 HP, so you wouldn't blame him if he doesn't peek. He will. Still, loses the duel. Missed shot. Critically missed shot. Because that could have been Brolin dead, and instead it's going to send down for the save.
There is a world where he runs to the other side, it's totally open, but like, yeah, the time is now completely gone. So Stow will at least save the op in this spot. It's a good round for MOUZ, but mostly because of Spinks, right? It's a moment where Astralis have actually a really prime location. They've taken over bracket control. It's MOUZ who make a mistake in peeking from Arch, but Cadian doesn't get the kill. Then Spinks gets 2, and that's the individual skill shining through on MOUZ. And also, Spinks looking out for his team right there.
If there's one statistical anomaly between these two teams coming into this matchup, the beauty of it is that so many of the players are almost tit for tat right now, right? Evened out. You've got Torzi and Xertion at the top for MOUZ. You've got Device and Jabby at the top for Astralis. But as you go down that board and everybody kind of cross paths, the gap is Cadian underperforming in contrast to Brolin. Now, Brolin, compared to recent events, this is slower, but obviously he is the IGL now. Spinks has replicated what Brolin did.
Oh,
And Device, straight up gonna find an opening kill through the smoke he pushes. Massive risk to run when you are playing the solo op. And the beauty of Astralis, well, you've got a second guy who can op.
Yeah, and you brought up Cadian just now. He's got more HP. Bogdan is smiling somewhere.
Thing is, we've missed Cadian hitting shots a little bit throughout this event. Obviously, it makes sense to put it in his hands, to give that M4 as well, the rifle they just earned into Stounds. Perfect.
Man, CT's playing pretty far back in a spot where they're 5v4. Yes, it's still just an anti-force buy, but the sheer numbers can be a problem. I mean, Stare right now, he's just trying to be a thorn in their side, give them audio cues.
Yeah, that'll keep Torgi busy.
And yeah, he is close enough now to make some noise.
All good. Torgi's going to hold this back.
Oh, he got by.
Kind of frazzles Torgi a little bit because you know that Tech9's gunning for you, but it can also allow the MOUZ players. Oh! They should be able to just focus on Banana, but here we go. It's a fast run in. And all of a sudden, this site's completely cleared, just like that.
Yeah, and there's no way to rotate. There's no way to rotate. There's no round here for Jimfat. He's 1v4. Astralis crushed this one. That's the economy gone for MOUZ.
Oh, what a great round, dude. You could feel them just slowly creeping ever closer, and then that pounce.
It's down save in the op last round that allowed them to get this in the first place. Brought that back for Device to make his brave pick through the smoke on Banana. And I think that MOUZ actually, that's a mid-round where they needed to do more. You can be 5v4 is a massive advantage, you know, almost no matter how many guns are on the board. It's situational, but at the same time, when you see Inferno can end up being a 5v2 on one site with the next rotation being 6, 7, 8 seconds away, and then your lurker on A also gets a kill, of course it's a wrap.
I really like the way that Stare wasted no time getting up onto Arch and kind of did it loudly so they knew he was coming, but then quietly approached into Arch, and the moment he had to sprint over and switch sides, does it. Frazzles Torgi. Tech9 comes running at him, guns him down. And the B players barely have time to react or adjust to CT because Jabby's already on top of them. Brings one with him, then that M4 earned by the early Device peak also has a chance to impact the round. That is a massive swing moment for Astralis in round 7. That is one that could unravel the chances of MOUZ's defense here on Inferno.
Hate him or love him, these are LAN players, folks. It's a newer story for the Heroic Core, but even they have picked up their chips.
I do think that the Astralis love grew from yesterday to today, though.
Yeah, you know, the respect will be earned. You gotta give your fans moments. And right now, Astralis haven't won a playoff game since when?
Speaking of fans, Jimmy, a lot in the room. Here's the moment he offers you.
Well, I still recommend being his fan after that.
Try again next time. Flashbang over to the small pit. That's going to interrupt Astralis. It's got to be said, it's a death at least, right? Maybe not from Jimmy, but it is still Stound down.
That was a high-value target, but the gun can obviously go right into Brolin's hands. But again, it's a still map here from the CT side. They don't move.
Beautiful play from Jabby.
I mean, you know, moving on a rifle round is something you want. Oh, Jabby just misses a small timing.
If he dies here, there's a chance Torgi cuts off mid. Cadian's walking up. It's just the 5-7, so it's all good. And Cadian seeing that could lead him to believe the rotation's already happening. Guess what? Wouldn't be wrong. You've got Xerxion's rifle here in sight, and it's an uncomfortable amount of time to go back. Xerxion's going to lock this in. And as long as he draws attention, we still haven't talked about Spinks. Oh, but they clear out both. And that is what they had to do in that moment with the little bit of extra time they had. You could see the nightmare coming.
Yeah, and the T-side attacks, like the way that they try to scale, and it's not an easy thing to figure out. Most good teams still go B most of the time. They are kind of struggling to have that chemistry when it comes to joining up on lane, peeking from halls, figuring out that timing. I think Astralis' best A attacks are their arch splits. Those were the ones that, even versus the MongolZ, one late flash in a moment where they were down on time, they still made it look like everything was on purpose. So another clean round here for Astralis in the end. I don't know. Getting boosted up on quad, it's, I mean, even Astralis will try to do that. But I just don't think it's as good as it looks as an off angle. It really feels like even as you swing, it's not that difficult to clear. It's kind of an awkward shot sometimes. What's that? They're the same picture. Well, this will be mission impossible for Astralis, though. Winning this after beating the MongolZ.
say impossible, but it's looking good so far. 6-2 T side. Finally a chance for MOUZ to all have rifles across the board with grenades. Nice frag down mid. Down goes Device, dropped by 50 HP. Cadian's looking to pounce. Mac-10's got the opening.
Great
It's a man advantage for Astralis at a minute 35.
Every tactic is working.
There's no denying that they've had that. Tactics and strategies for Astralis so far in this half.
Yes. I think Dust also brought up, or Pimp brought up opening duels, just how key that is because of 4v5 percentages. Well, Astralis have been coming up in spades.
Utility over the top. Torzy trying to set up Jimmy, who's next to him. Both players on short side. Smoke won't mean much. Stare doesn't let his guard down.
Oh, Jimmy took a little too much time to peek, and it's not as skinny as he thinks.
Now, who threw that? You know, I want to talk about the analysts and what they brought up. Dustin highlighting that Stare's entry fragging has been superb. Well, there's a great example of it, getting past that two-man risk on a single side of A site. 7-2, near confirmed. And Jabby, easy. Jabby dead, but the trades come out. Brolin's all good to try to go ahead and save. Astralis can definitely go for the hunt. They've got a bit of extra cash. What MOUZ now need is some sort of a CT side.
Crowd's gooning for Jimmy. Look at me, Jimmy!
Brolin afforded a save. All right. 5 rounds, best case for MOUZ. Stare deserves a smirk because that double kill just got that A site unraveled. Oh my God.
Hey, he's been growing it out for 30 years.
Ooh, and the Ema signature. Can we get a cheer for Ema, who is in the house?
Shout out to Ema for coming, man. He didn't play because he didn't want the easiest win of the year.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Would have just crushed it. It would have been spoilers.
Got to let somebody else have a turn. And right now it looks like the Danes. Here's that double kill. Yeah, it doesn't let his guard down for a second. Spins around just in case there's a third. Never easy coming up through brackets when all those corners can be occupied by pesky CTs hiding. This is one of those rounds where it's not just the one rifle saved by Brolin, but some trinkets added. MP9, pistol here. A couple smoke grenades to try to slow it down. But it's Astralis playing with the pace. Nades have been nice, right? We've seen Astralis wounded on their approach. This one, not as bad as it's been, but still for something that's down has to handle. But again, it is, I think, in a moment where we've seen MOUZ at times keep pressure up, Mohan. CT side not looking too interruptive. It's not really making Astralis have to panic or change ideas. It's just Astralis doing as they please, and MOUZ trying to react well enough.
And CT side, you know, it should be easier to comp, but that doesn't mean you can just sit in place. Ideas are going to win this map, but you can see especially Astralis playing this well. Another careful approach out of Yabby, and he's been solid when it comes to his lurks, picking his timings. The only reason Astralis are taking time right now is because MOUZ are supposed to be making moves, but they're not.
So Astralis can just wait it out that extra second, make sure nothing's coming at them, and then do as they're about to. Step forward with a huge advantage into Spinks. Now he has 4 multi-kills so far this half. Not going to be one of them this time in round 10. More multi-kills than his entire team put together. Makes sense when you see him sitting at 12 and 8. It's the highest performing player.
Yeah, you don't want to see a vanilla setup. I mean, they're playing inside of halls, which is good. But on low-buy rounds, the thing is that it's applying to almost every situation at the moment. I think MOUZ started off this game on the right foot, but are slowly communicating less. I mean, we should have had a Cyclone timeout for sure, I think, just to get the team talking. Even though we can't see how much they're saying, the way they move speaks for itself.
Right, yeah, it's kind of stale, a little stagnant. Cadian A free one to collect. Desertion is going to get dropped off on T-ramp. And Astralis are content to just keep giving a little time at the start of the rounds to see that MOUZ aren't making moves.
Oh yeah, the finisher of the Romanian community.
Two rounds left in regulation. Astralis breezing through this and doing
it with... is. This is like when MongolZ for a while, they weren't doing anything. Then they threw their bottom mid smoke late into the half.
Okay.
When it was time to make something happen.
Difference being MOUZ don't actually make a move behind it.
Not making a move behind it is still a move because you block vision. Now you can see that even when Jabby's approaching, he has to come and clear out mid. But you're right, they can do more with it. They don't do any deep nades. There's no push here. There's no lurk lead off. Instead, they don't even have top banana control. Astralis taking everything again.
Yeah. It's like you throw that smoke, but at a mini 20, it's already kind of moot. You've already got Jabby who's cleared out the whole thing. This is the same amount of time that MOUZ have played with doing absolutely nothing. Yeah. Just this time they threw a smoke and then did absolutely nothing.
All due respect, any team can set up like this. 2-3 to the sights on Inferno.
And that's the worry.
And right now with Astralis, it's not as if they're picking a site and then running into it. They're gathering information, they're using lurks. And you can only bet on the other team being bad for a setup like this to work. So Torzi, it puts him in a hard position. He's got to get an op kill, but now he doesn't have that many fallback spots. One flash and he's out of the round. He'll be in a retake spot.
He's got Zershin with him, who has an incendiary in hand, ready to drop that. And he, well, throws out the smoke first. So with the smoke grenade down at 35 seconds.
I mean, they have top bracket control at the same time. Astralis know they have him on the ropes.
They put that frag grenade, try to give him vision. You're going to tiptoe your way in. Torsi takes it.
They have options.
Jabby's able to at least wrap over into Arch side, so now suddenly we're going to get this 2 versus 3 inside A site. You've got that pit player waiting for the Jabby contact.
Time is a
Utility
problem.
thrown out. That's going to tell him where he's at. You've got a player still hiding sight. Critical pickup here from Spinks. Clock is going to be important. 7 seconds.
Oh, he can't find him?
Spams off.
No,
no bomb plant, so
okay.
you've cleared it. Whew. In the final few bullets of that spray, MOUZ find a lifeline.
Wow. All right. Torji hits his op shot. They go to A with not enough time left over. They make it hard for themselves. Yeah, there could have been the kill inside of Library. It's nice, though, from Spinks. Again, mechanically, individually, he's had a good half. I think that's his 13th. Very solid stuff. But I think this is one of those situations where you don't want to be outcome-oriented. I think if you're MOUZ, you're given a gift on this round. You threw your bottom mid-smoke, but you didn't fight for any information. Team takes bracket and top B every round versus you, and they're a good roster and you give them respect, they are going to win. They're going to win more often than not. Map control has been a severe issue right now for MOUZ. And if you think, if there's a lurker inside of brackets by himself, and he's getting so comfortable that he doesn't have support ever, that's a problem that you need to get rid of, right? That's the termite in your floorboard.
And so here we are at the end of the half, questioning MOUZ's structural integrity. A gift given over sprinkles a third. You'd say it's not nearly enough, and you'd think if it's just Jabby kind of every once in a while going for this arch play, shouldn't be too hard.
Go find him.
Right, shouldn't be too hard to stop him. But again, it's MOUZ looking like a shell of themselves.
Just
Jimmy's 2-9.
Even if you double push and lose one player in the process, guaranteed a 1-for-1 trade, you get full info and brackets back. You can make an informed decision.
And it's got to be said as well, in stark contrast to what Zershin was able to do versus MongolZ, this is unfortunately the playoff Zershin that 2024 featured all too often. Cadian able to get up through brackets with a well-timed flash. That took Torji off his angle, led Spinks to be just feasted on. And a challenge around towards Arch in a moment. It's going to be pressure on Jimmy. He's got a teammate to work with. Zershin looks to come out through smoke. He kills Cadian at least, and Torji's able to hold. Good flash, Stoun's blind. And Zershin with this defense takes man advantage. Doesn't mean the round comes with it. They're gonna smoke off the support.
ISO Torzi.
Quarter health on an Opper back sight. Both players missed their first shot.
Oh,
he nades himself. And Jabby's able to just jump down on top of him. Zershin's already got 2 kills in this round. And he gives himself a good smoke to try to work in. 3rd kill. And as he hunts that back sight, it's just Jabby left.
Oh!
That's the Zershin we need.
All right. You called on him, and they needed him. The 1v2 clutch on the A site. Could have been pressed out to stop that bomb plan in the first place. Very well done here from Xerxin. Just that pressure through the smoke pushed Jabby into an awkward opportunity. 4 rounds on the CT side is actually a good recovery, considering Astralis still set up and staged all of these last couple of rounds with the right amount of map control, put themselves in positions to win. One flash from Brolin, I think, makes a difference when we have the arch push come out from Xerxin in the first place. He even gets spotted looking the wrong way. Cadian's here to win some fans back. And this crowd is good sports. No grudges held here.
Yeah, it took us a while, but I'm glad we came back. Been fantastic, Cluj. Here's that Xerxin 4K. Coming around that smoke, I mean, this is a moment Xerxin creates for himself. 56 health as he goes into that last duel. Doesn't even take a lick of damage after. So nice to see he can try to get those spirits up, because it was a struggling start to this half. But we are now looking at a MOUZ who's recovered some. So we switch over. That's where the half ends. Oh, right to it.
There's a push down.
Stare and Stound, both of them up inside of balcony.
Whoa! I mean, okay, Allen Iverson, what is that fade away? He can barely see a thing.
Just bends the bullet around the edge, and it's a 5 versus 3 looking comfortable for Astralis. Stare looks to disengage.
Getting out of there is a good plan.
Yeah, Torji on the chase, bomb carrier behind him. Third and last other player for MOUZ is gonna have his hands full, if that's even when the corner player peaks, but not needed. Jabby. It has been nothing but clean USP executions, and that doesn't look like it's going to stop.
Wow.
Rock solid defense from the Danes in the pistol.
And we're seeing quality ideas on each pistol. It was the nades to kill Xerxin over on B. On the T side, here's another perfect play versus the alt push. 2 players eating a flash, full blind the entire time. Now he's getting called out. I would go out on a limb and say they haven't won a single round that was, strategically amazing. They've really only won rounds off the back of a couple of good moves from Spinks. A clutch out of Xerxin.
A couple of good moves from Spinks, a clutch out of Xerxin, and one time Astralis ran out of time.
Yeah.
That's just the majority of what we've gotten out of MOUZ on Inferno. So this is just simply a different level from Astralis. And already 2 rounds in, we're seeing more aggression than what MOUZ threw out the entire CT side. 2 rounds of it. Makes total sense versus just these measly Glocks, but it's something that I think you're going to get more of from Astralis. And that's when I think of the Cadian interview that came out not long ago, where he said, we've got great players, but they're still trying to play that textbook perfection CSGO type beat.
Yeah.
What we need are, harder swings and tapping into what makes CS2 CS2.
And also it's buying into what Cadian offers. Because if you don't like the system, then it's not going to work with him as the IGL. If you buy in, we've seen the potential from it.
Can't only have one foot in the cult.
And the weird thing is, like for Astralis, it feels like they just couldn't shoot for a while. But the comfort has suddenly changed.
And I wonder if that ability to shoot a little straighter comes from, again, just getting more aggressive, because it is in your face CS so far.
Yeah, again, the Dallas qualifier game versus Heroic, that was the biggest problem. Running out of time, just looking like there was no IGL on the server. That hasn't been the story for the last 3 maps for Astralis here in playoffs. 10 rounds.
$2025 was starting to look very bleak for Astralis up until that win over MongolZ. Suddenly, it secures them a good chunk of the season. And now it's all about confirming them in grand finals. It's a tempo and a type of action that's looking good enough for it.
Again, this is that good pressure. Like, this is the modern way, and I mean ultra modern. This is a really recent thing everyone's doing. But these nades, they're coming in from mid through the smoke with the help of it. It's MongolZ who used it the most. But don't tell Astralis there are new HEs that you can use. And so look at the bit of map control right now. MOUZ are going to try to disrespect this quickly. Looks like a great idea.
Javi gets chipped away at, but he's certainly not the only player tagged up in this round. 35 health for Xerxon, and Brolin's not going to make their approach any easier.
This is a win for MOUZ. They get, well, the thing is, there's still only one over on the B site.
Easy cleanup for Katie, and he's just confident enough to peek off of that stare flash. And unfortunately, Spinks was just a bit ahead of this pack. Device also gets a chance to come in assisted. Along the front walls, Katie. And that MP9's looking good in his hands tonight. Jimmy, 2 kills to his name, 15 rounds into regulation. That is not the Jimmy you know and love. Struggling here on the stage in Cluj. And just looking to walk away, but already surrounded. Astralis will take 11 with a statement.
I was thinking that was a small win for MOUZ because of the map control, but if you look at it actually, they had Yabby staying on B, everybody else went over to the A site. So even though they feigned aggression over there, which is what you're supposed to do for MOUZ, Astralis simply don't fall for it. They have to better read the better setup, and they went in to take over bracket control because they know that Yabby can't make that move on the other side of the map. Yabby's probably saying, I don't have vision right now. You guys need to figure something out or rotate back to help me. And they go with the former option. Works out beautifully. Astralis hit 11, quick. And the Galeals are coming out for MOUZ. I think some timeouts could have come out a little bit earlier for MOUZ. And even after them, not really seeing the ideas get executed.
It's 10 opening deaths across the board for MOUZ. 5 of those 10, all Jimmy. Really just hasn't been a mainstay of these moments. That's not going to give him a chance to catch up on the scoreboard. At this point now, Acadian's just starting to have a little fun. And Acadian who's having fun, that's a dangerous business. Device, why would you be nervous?
Oh, Yabby gets one.
Oh, Acadian even!
Oh, this one's for 12.
It's just an op peeking down mid.
I mean, it's a mid control that's paying off.
Dude, this
Why did
round,
MOUZ do that?
With all of that challenge, nets them 3 kills, just catching them at the top of ramp. 1 round ago, it's all the frag grenades. You had 2 players at less than 50 health,
also,
same position.
Are they running down mid? No, they're peeking from safe positions. They're just using the beginning of the round more effectively here.
Well, that's the minute 30 save.
Yeah, seriously, because if they don't, what are they going to do next round? Jimmy's going to be rubbing his 2 flashes together for the next minute. This is brutal. And it's actually refreshing to see for Astralis, man.
Yes.
This game totally came down to Astralis for me. I think it vindicates that MongolZ a little bit to see the fact that Astralis can do it again, tomorrow.
And I think the most impressive part of it all is this huge uptick from Cadian as well. Because even versus MongolZ, he was calling, but he wasn't farming. Not like this. 14 frags, right up there with Device at the moment.
Wait, if they're not going to save at 15 seconds, at least the site is open, but they're coming in with no flashes?
Easy trade frag, and that's going to take
10 seconds left.
All the steam out of it. He doesn't even have the bomb yet. Spinks has got to walk out for it. He could have, but now you can't. You're done. You're toast. Lucky not to die after time. I mean, tell me MOUZ haven't fizzled out.
Felt like that for the last 10 rounds. Look, everyone loves Astralis now. What happened?
Are we sure? Does everybody here love Astralis? There's like one guy over here that's got the biggest boo. Other than that, I mean, the tides turn because I think at the end of the day, you just got to respect the Counter-Strike, and Astralis are finally playing a Counter-Strike that we can respect.
The last time that we were in Cluj was also probably the last time Astralis were good, so.
Well, it's a sight for sore eyes, I'll tell you that. It's a final attempt, perhaps, to get into this B site. Astralis came in with this Inferno pick, and we can see why. Frag grenade primes the peak. Jabby, it's a singular kill and an instant fallback from the 2 other B site defenders. And if they really want to get wild, they could keep that pressure up. I mean, there's an off chance that MOUZ disengage and start to head a different direction. The problem is Brolin actually stuck around and he's so little health. That's a great headshot, and on top of it, an extra bit of damage, and the CT doesn't know if it's just this one player left.
Yeah.
This is rocking the boat to B, and it's opening a door for MOUZ over on A to get this T side back online.
I mean, yeah, Stairs already in the back of the site waiting. I mean, yes, at this moment, MOUZ are taking their time to gear up for this A attack, but Astralis don't look like they have any plans to leave. And if they want to take all the time to push the top of Banana, then things get a little weird for MOUZ, but they're moving with time.
Yeah.
Stair, surely he just gets one and dies.
Somebody's going to trade, and that's if it's even needed, but it's just going to be Spinks on high alert as everybody started to clear out pit. That's a good job by Brolin to not be afraid when sitting on 30 health to at least take some kind of a look at the B site and peel a player off. Even better. Definitely opened up the possibility of MOUZ to have any kind of T-half on this first map.
Give it up for MOUZ. They're back in the game.
Pendulum swings ever so slightly.
It's like, at least put on a show. Show yourself that you have a chance in the next maps,
Yep.
because right now I don't think they're really believing.
There's plenty of in-game leaders
and again,
on.
with the quality of players and the system that was functioning a month ago, you know what I mean? There's still so much of this team left. It's the only thing they changed was Spinks, who is the firepower upgrade that they were looking for.
Yes, sure.
So there's really no excuse to have at least a baseline level performance here.
But what it always boiled down to was MOUZ playing great in group stage, getting to a playoff stage like this, and then individually, statistically, falling off and disappearing. And a question will still remain as we watch this, and that question is that Shuhei's fault?
No. I mean, I don't even think there's an argument for that.
Any kind of a roster change that would have happened with MOUZ was meant to take them to grand finals and win.
The reason we talk about IME today is because Shuhei brought Gamer Legion to the grand finals of Paris. Brought the best out of him in the early part of his career. And then what did MOUZ do? They got him back.
So here we are in an all too common looking MOUZ situation, but at least Spinks is currently being that guy. 16 frags to his name, and an early man disadvantage for Astralis to have to handle. Sounds easy. Convert the 5v4. Cadian leans out, grabs that AWP, won't find anything on brackets, but there's also the question as to whether Astralis will just start to shell up. If they keep some kind of pressure up, that's how they're going to clip somebody outside of this A-bomb site. And we'll keep a close eye on MOUZ as they start to make moves again. We've seen Brolin left here on Banana. Looks like it's going to be Xerxion's role this time. And it looks like that presence in Banana is enough to keep Astralis with majority on the wrong side of the map.
I think the molly behind the smoke right there for Astralis really shows how scared they are of the B site. Kidding, seeing the R-trap smokes, wants to get in the middle of this. Oh, misses.
Shot. Won't be able to miss twice, so he'll stop Brolin in his tracks.
Oh, wait a second.
But
this
all the while, everybody runs
move.
up short side, and Cadian tries to chase them. Not going to bode well for him, and they've effectively, yet again here in round 18, just out-rotated a man disadvantage defense.
And this is where MOUZ have to say, it's never too late. Like, it's never too late to play well. We're talking about MR12 now. This is effectively another 6 rounds that they've got to win to tie up. Every team at this level have seen themselves win 6 rounds in a row versus hard competition on stage. That's not a question. It's really just a matter of knowing that you don't have any leeway. Every mistake is just that much more stressful. MOUZ could absolutely get over that. We've already seen them play better than this, and that's the only thing that we're talking about now. We've seen fantastic comebacks here at Cluj. In fact, actually, it was Astralis yesterday who made 2.
Step by step will be this MOUZ journey. Scary thought to think they'll have to do this without Jimmy online. He is still 3 kills into the game. We've at least had Xerxion, the other player struggling for MOUZ, have that clutch. You know, he can tap into his recent memory for a moment that proves he can improve within this first map of a semifinals. Jimmy yet to have that moment.
Yeah, didn't see him getting involved as much here during this timeout. We've got Rugga. Now is deliberating a little bit. They might already have the plan of action. So 2 good rounds here for MOUZ.
Smoke in the middle, frag on top of him. Stuns him for a second as they try to approach Banana. Javi's gonna have a moment through the fire. Rolling.
That's another entry.
Just sprinting through the frag and the flames.
Somehow pulled that off, even on his HP.
Wow.
And again, it's the quick adjustments. And in the past couple of rounds, been an overcorrection to try to get over B. But because MOUZ take a top banana control, it's been too hard for Astralis to get that piece of map control back. But again, when they've been at their best, when they reclaim mid in that situation.
How many of these B leans have, though, create a pattern that Astralis are going to tap into?
I think now MOUZ have Astralis a little confused. Last 2 rounds, they ended up going late back to the A site. 1 person there. Now, there isn't the over-rotation to B. MOUZ looks like they've conditioned them a little bit. Brolin setting up with these entries.
Grenades come down from Cadian.
No
Frag
tag on the
grenade now,
molly.
all that he's got left. Would have loved for that to have really connected, but it's just a bit of chip damage on the 2.
And
rotations coming over. Astralis going to try to stack this before the full-blown execute comes out. And honestly, the timing here looks like it could still come up Astralis. You've got Device in the front, Brolin dead. And already that bomb starts to run away at 30 seconds. So now the question will remain, can Astralis rock back a second time?
Yeah, this is a good move.
Inside of this A site, we do have Stare just locked into his corner.
Jimmy's the key. He's only got 3 kills.
And right now, Jimmy over on Arch side, he's waiting for some kind of a rotate. Oh, big pickup from Spanx, and then out from the corner, but the bomb goes flying. That bomb went soaring into the middle of the site. It gets picked up just in time. Cadian 1v2 queued up. Smoke's gonna cover Jimmy on the follow-up, and then that frag forces him back. Cadian catching his breath for a second.
Oh, if he thinks it's Pit, I mean, how are you gonna get back into this? Going for the long round here. This is crazy.
Smoke grenade that was on Moto has now faded out. Oh, Cadian, do you think you can get this? Because he's going to have to somehow scoop up a kit while he does it. Bombs past the halfway point. Oh. No chance. Whew. There's Jimmy's 4th frag of the map. Oh, and it's a big entry moment from Spanx as he clips the wings of the guy over in Library.
Yeah, killing the site player on 20 HP. It could have been 2 and just 1 extra bullet to end the round and end the map right there, but they narrowly escaped. But this is still a great call from MOUZ. It's great use of the map here. It's great use of the entries out of Brolin. He's been a stud when it comes to opening up the B site on these rifle rounds. And even though there's tons of time pressure, they keep their cool.
And these gun rounds just keep coming from Astralis. No one said this comeback was going to be easy, but 5 rounds the difference, 12-7. And now we've got Device, the front runner of Banana. Tries to get a snapshot in, doesn't connect. Xerxian continues to test these Banana corners. And all these rotations towards B, whether it's the right site or the right time, has been coming down to MOUZ more often than not, getting this early Banana control.
Device has such a clean scoreline this map, and I think prerogative number 1 here for MOUZ is just avoid him.
Well, maybe it's a good thing he did rattle off 1 bullet.
This is an interesting way to balance the map, though, because they keep the op on the B side. Now they don't need 3 riflers. Problem is MP9, at least it's in a good spot. But Astralis, I mean, this is the map that Astralis were creating versus MOUZ. Astralis have let off the gas pedal when it comes to aggressive map control. They're losing Banana, and this kill now, Jimmy's 5th.
That's what he needs. Takes over Apartment's control. Stare not going to be able to have that as an anchor. We've got separated 2v2s. Cadian, everybody dies inside this A site with nothing to show for it. You have given MOUZ enough runway for them to have upticks in performance. Even Jimmy getting online. But it has to be noted, Spanx towering at the top of that scoreboard for the MOUZ side, and Brolin's able to slip up to just try to keep all this money low, because the money's been flowing still for Astralis. But if Device can't hang on to this AWP, then we are looking at a MOUZ 4 rounds from overtime And an Astralis that economically is wobbly.
Again, echoing the desk, talking about the opening kills.
He's done.
It's basically been all about the T side. Op goes down. 4-round game here for MOUZ. They're starting to wake up. So it was opening kills for Astralis on T side. Now it's opening kills for MOUZ on their T side.
This was 4 consecutive round wins off of the pistol for the defense.
Now we're at the point in the match. Even if Astralis win, at least MOUZ have earned some dignity here. They showed that they can play well and keep up.
And a well-earned reward. We've got USPs. No longer are Astralis going to be able to keep pressure on middle. This time it is just that deep smoke and nothing really behind it. I say that though, obviously they've just got so little that a little USP flood could damn well catch someone off guard. Spinks cheats his way ahead of that smoke, so he could be the prime victim for this 5-player bracket setup.
Yeah, but if no one smokes banana at all.
Well-placed nade, that'll help.
Yeah.
Soften up the numbers, that's going to serve as the activation, and it's a good chance that Spinks is about to farm. USP is going to end him. Jimmy's here to help out, and between him and Brolin, all is good. Off grabbed. It's 2 deaths versus USPs. It's not a horrible place, but we are getting deep into this regulation, and so a couple kills matter not. 3 rounds from overtime for MOUZ.
Rounds like this are just a formality for MOUZ. They just have to get them done. Doesn't matter how they win them. They just have to chew through the rifle rounds. Astralis will take their 3rd and final timeout. Probably comes at a good time here. This will be their healthiest buy. I think the key for Astralis is actually in halls, because if they have, right now they're having trouble losing banana control, and if they can win banana control because MOUZ will probably be aggressive. But if they have halls, they have a late round option to punish the rotation back to mid. They have a way to safely stay in boiler and listen for a lot of stuff and fight bracket. And just that alone will help the rotations on the rest of the map. Right now, if they want to keep fighting banana early and losing, I think that's going to be the biggest issue. That's what MOUZ should probably keep going back to, because they seem to have all the answers over here. But Astralis are a lot more timid in these last few rounds.
Trying to get their grenades down banana again, but not quite on the mark. Xerxon trying to get his impact in this map. It's a late start to the game like everybody else, but quick cross over to the sandbags. Jabby has taken a ton of damage to get this position. He is supported, of course, by another 2. It's down with the bank nade. It's chipping away at Xerxon to try to even out this gunfight, but he actually peels off away from it.
It's the first time they've actually won it, and they keep eyes with Device. Xerxon takes some utility damage as he falls back. Device up to the plate.
He's going to let the first 2 cross over towards Arch. This rotation's going to be on high alert. We've got both Oppers holding this angle. Cadian turns.
Oh, he runs through the molly.
Gets him. Then Stare doubles back. Can't hit the shot. MOUZ have control. MOUZ have this site under wraps. Just as Device has to turn to deal with a completely vacant Arch, that's when Torji walks up middle and wins the op duel.
I think he also ran through. He has taken no damage, but there was a piece of utility that came down a bracket. I thought it was a molly. Maybe he was just in front of it. But that's the play that needed to be made. That was the best start to the round for Astralis so far. They got banana control, they got utility damage, but no kills.
What a nice fast move though from MOUZ. Yes, okay, Astralis got banana. It's why we see MOUZ rock back, but they didn't waste a moment. And they found a gap on that A site in Arch side, right? If there's anybody in library a little earlier to even spam through a smoke, then suddenly Device doesn't have to worry about Moto. But it's his caution to Moto that literally gets him killed as his counterpart tiptoes up mid.
I think there were 2 ways to interfere with this, and that was Device going wider earlier on. After the push on banana was won, to make sure he's in position first to peek into middle. Then Torzi has to either fight him or they have to go through brackets utility just to win the space back. And the other option, again, I'm going to say it, is Halls. It's a little bit underserved right now. Jimmy has got 1 kill there, and since then they really haven't tried to fight back against that. That's a spot where it could have been effective to fight versus Boiler again. If they had Halls control, Device wouldn't have been worried about an op sitting in that position. And they had peaked it early, but that's all they did.
Impressive nonetheless of how this ends. 6 rounds straight for MOUZ to get to 10. And they've got first blood, but it comes at a cost. Stavn and Cadian joining forces to keep the pressure on Banana. It is a sea of smoke grenades. They can't see jack. And yet they're still able to claw a player off. 1 round from a win. Yes, you have allowed for 6 rounds to slip by, but 1 is all they need.
All right, now they're moving forward with these top Banana protocols, and they're going to go for the fast clear. Obviously see nothing in this spot, but now it's a race to A.
And that race looks like it's going to get won by MOUZ. Device can drop his utility. He's going to try to reposition here right ahead of a hit. Got to be cautious about the apartments. That's where Jimmy's at. Jimmy gets tagged and taken down. Device concerned in all directions.
Used a lot of ammo.
We gave him praise for the big stage experience, but surely he can't hold this site alone. And that's why it's going to take Cadian to step up and hold off on Arch. And that could damn well be enough. But Device doesn't see it coming. Spinks has been shining alongside Torji. And that is both players inside A with a bomb plan. But unbeknownst to them is where Cadian's gotten off to. And so as he waits for Stavn to come and join them, this is a 2v2 queued up. Now man advantage Astralis. It's got to be the clutch from Torji. And I love that he plays up inside that smoke. They're going to approach, not knowing where he's at. He peels back, gives them space, but that gives him a little time and an element of surprise. They line up, he gets out, he peels off the first, down to 16 health. He draws the second player at him. It's a tap on top of the bomb, but Cadian's got to get the kill, and he will not. Torji drops the Hungarian Warhammer, sits them down in round 23, and this regulation goes the distance.
Oh my God. Was that a moment where there was no kit to pick up even in this spot? Backside plant. Torji peels all the way back. Total read from him to assume that this tap won't come in. Dangerous position to play everything on the line, but it's the right move to make. Cadian can't believe it.
Forces Cadian's hands. And Astralis have allowed this to go 24. Banana control, such a key component of this MOUZ T-side comeback. And they will start with it again. Why not? Brolin boiling over with confidence as him and his team have so effectively taken this portion of the map. And it's a little bit of a change-up. If Astralis want to try and take it, like we saw 1 round ago with Stavn and Cadian pressuring smoke, well, they will be stepping forward into a stacked position. And that bomb is so ready to go, but the smoke will make them wait.
I kind of love the idea from MOUZ. And as we can see, with Astralis are leaving at the moment, this would be one of their rarer options, just a straight B after their B control. Not messing with the rest of the map for once. The conditioning on this comeback has been fantastic from MOUZ. A far cry from what we saw over on their CT side. But now the info goes back the other direction. No one spotted.
But I mean, it's
but
pieces.
Again, no one in halls, and so Astralis actually have to still tie up resources.
It's pieces moving on both sides. Yes, we see a little peek down mid in a moment, but it's just Jabby to throw a flash for Cadian. That is the core of this B-site defense. A flash thrown that he can't even capitalize on because he is blind and smoked off. And so MOUZ have earned a position inside this bomb site. And the retake utility, well, I'll say it, it looks still good enough. It's going to be a 5 versus 5 retake for overtime. That is what MOUZ fight for. 7 rounds straight and an 8th needed. All they have is that flash, so you know it's going to be guns in the hands of MOUZ. And here it comes, grenades first. Xertion leaning back on Nubox. He's weakened down to half health. Jimmy's got a double. It has been so quiet from him. Cadian, the only player to get anything going. MOUZ fight valiantly.
1 foot.
8 rounds of a comeback.
1 foot in front of the other, and MOUZ have made it all the way to overtime on the stage versus Astralis. And you can see the stress in Jabby's eyes. So close, so many times in those 7 rounds. But just like MOUZ were asleep at the wheel in the first half, Astralis let off the gas. They stopped making their info plays that even netted them some of the early CT rounds.
What a phenomenal instance of staying composed for this now led by Brolin MOUZ.
I'll give it up. That was a great call over on B.
Fast one. No time to stop tempo. Straight to Banana. into the gunfight. Cadian's first. Brolin's gonna chase it down, and he's got them right there on the edge. Now, he was just an inch away from a second, but the third player steps forth, and that will cost him a double casualty at the expense of Astralis. Brolin wants more. And as he smokes off that CT cross, he has them playing a guessing game. And guess who's not missing?
Okay.
Torzi just empties out this bomb site. Stare's not going to get contact as he opens up smoke. Would have loved to catch them off guard. It's a full-blown hit with a full-blown MOUZ. And I can't believe it, but this is MOUZ to take a lead.
Wow, this is the biggest chance for Astralis. I bet they could see grand finals coming up when they hit match point in the fashion that they did. And even allowing MOUZ to make some kind of comeback in the first place was already a mistake. Astralis missed some opportunities by 25 damage, 1 or 2 seconds, over and over again. But MOUZ minimized mistakes. They didn't worry about the fact that it all rested on 1 or 2 bad deaths. They gave time to Jimmy to wake up. He's on 10 kills now. And Astralis, with all the money in the world, try to get in the face of the banana control again, but they can't stop Brolin. He's been fantastic, especially as the entry here on the offense.
Banana has just been the key to this comeback. Astralis have tried different looks, they've tried different tempos, they've tried to pressure it with utility. But you're not keeping MOUZ out of this position.
Now, Astralis are not participating in their full range of options. They still are focusing on what MOUZ want to focus on in the beginning of the round. They want to win aggressively with utility, with their peaks on Banana, but they aren't beating Brolin out, and they refuse to. Again, there's a vacuum of space. If you've got T's pushing Banana with supporting utility window flashes and 2 players behind, there are other parts of the map that are weak, but Astralis are really not exploring them at the moment.
Double up setup here for Astralis in the second round of overtime. Didn't see this back in regulation.
That takes the edge off. I think always the biggest benefit of a double op setup if the other team doesn't see it coming. You know, if it's like the Mongols, you know, they might just start it off in the beginning of a CT half. Most teams aren't doing it in MR12 because it's just too expensive. But if you are in a team that does it very often and you've got a hybrid op like Cadian, especially having the game he's having, one op shot can grant you another op shot on the other side of the map because the other team is going to let their guard down. In overtime where you just need the 1 round, it's a great time to do it.
Nice one from Cadian to start it. Searching could have had vision, but we've got Javi to press out. Oh, fight on the smokes. Both players coming through smoke at the same near time. Frag? No.
That was too far.
Off the mark. They're going to go for a boost instead. You've got all of MOUZ knocking on this B site. Not even a chance for Cadian to reposition without getting blind. That's a big pickup. Collateral. And as Cadian tries to go back, Spinks is bested. Still, he's going to lock this in. Astralis using Cadian and Stown from backside. I'll say caught by the timing of the execution, and still they're able to succeed.
MOUZ threw their full range of utility up there at the top of Banana, but the only difference is it wasn't a rifle versus Brolin. Brolin has consistently outdone every single player that has come to try to fight him here. And Cadian's been having a great map. The collat and this spray from Stown's actually great as well. Sometimes mechanically he has bad moments, but here it is. Astralis finally get their rounds after 8 in a row from MOUZ.
Oh, there it is. Utility to a T.
It's another situation where winning saves everything. You know, even if you let the comeback take place, you won't be bitter if you closed. They've looked death in the eyes here at Astralis in this game. And you can see it on Jabby's face. Now they know they have to do it the hard way. But if they do, they'll at least win some confidence back.
Sitting here with 8 volt. Oh!
All right.
That internal timing to a T.
You see what 1 kill does as a difference? Jabby's sitting out here at a minute. When's the last time they did that on B?
Device would have just seen a shadow, so they're going to be careful about a bracket's presence, but that's fine. He's supported. Balcony's being held. In fact, they're dropping utility now, Astralis. at the 50-second mark in a 5 versus 3. You have no excuse to lose this. And you'd think Device hits this shot every day of the week. They're going to come at him. He could see that util coming out from over top.
Perfect
He
dodge.
will bring one down, right? That's really all he has to do. You've got an additional defense layered up. A little awkward. Stair falls. Cadian slides out with the second dot 5-7 in hand. Torzy's going to try to get him and will. This is a 1 versus 3 with a single kill found. Stound could try to keep the pressure up. He's going to come through that smoke. And now Torzy knows it. A second. No way he's able to get a second clutch.
That's a massive risk from Stound.
Smoke back over to the Moto side. Doesn't know which end. Which end of this bomb site does the retake come in? He's ready. He's ready. He's ready. And as he holds the timing, when's it going to come? Jabby's out there taking his sweet time. And now he's making sound.
No!
And Torzy drops the ball.
After all that time, he seems so confident right there. It was lane, but Yabby somehow found a way to be patient in a moment where there was nothing left to look at. Just in case Torzy came back to clear him. And he still had the advantage in the 1v1 in the end. He's already got a massive clutch this map, but he couldn't pull off the 1v3, maybe even bigger. Stound nearly sells this round by trying to push through the smoke before Yabby's in a position to trade or get involved at all. He's still very far away. Oh. Yeah, that's frustrating, but the game still continues. Still only a 1-round lead here for Astralis.
They swap over. 16 for the win. Sertian first blood. Oh,
What?
that's so smooth.
Woo, what is that move?
Talk about slick. Well, the fallback not so
Hey,
clean.
Job's done. Okay,
Right?
2 players left.
Is it though? Is it? Device and Stare could get this man advantage attack into the B site.
They do just want to go through this.
Right?
I think they have a feeling there's only one person here for now.
Thing is, Torzy gets in position fast enough, doesn't actually open the smoke up. Flashbang should find them on the approach. Brolin's been found out. They're going to try to close that distance. Brolin's trying to serve up a distraction while this boost comes forward. Stare's going to kill the player backside, and then he gets into cover. Now he knows there's got to be 2 more on this cross. He's got so much time. But that flank up from Banana, he reads it, and he's not able to get the spray down.
Right.
It's a MOUZ that swarms and ties the game at 14-all.
Man, who's better in the chaos than Xertian in moments like that? That car fight was extraordinary. Perfect moves around those barrels. Tie game, this one's wide open. Good to see them going back and forth as well. Finally, instead of both teams just streaking rounds.
Brolin with the flashbangs, has to be said. And Jimmy slides up, surviving on 14 health. Anybody's map. Now it's smoke popped open bottom. Banana Device is going to capitalize on that one. Can they even escape? Device trying to keep the pressure up. Frags come back at him. Oh! Spinks is here!
Well handled.
This is an aggressive stance from MOUZ, and you know what? That is what we didn't get in regulation at all. We switched sides, Astralis to the defense, and we saw what it should look like. You can't tell me that MOUZ haven't been inspired by that when they finally get back to the defensive half of overtime.
No, absolutely.
They have signed up for these fights, but just because you sign up doesn't mean you win. Bomb dropped. Jimpat gets that bomb drop short. 2 critical kills that, yes, could have opened up that rotation. Bomb gets stuck in a little bit too far forward. Both of them, same line. Jabby, this would have to be a miracle. This would have to be so sharp, but it's just too much of an ask. And now Jimpat has almost recovered his score. Do you remember when he was like 2-12?
Yes.
14-18 as MOUZ secure a lead and a second overtime at least.
You characterized it perfectly. Like, look how deep MOUZ are on Banana. No more vanilla play out of them. They're taking matters in their own hands. Both teams turning up now on their CT sides. Yabby almost brings this one back if Stare's aware of that. They could actually make this a B play, but instead, the Hall's Peak comes out, drops the bomb. And Astralis will have to do this.
Cadian's going through. Dangerous game, but not bet by Resistance. Torzy happy to lean this back. Oh, sitting duck.
He wanted that fight too.
Torzy Gonna have Cadian calling from the sideline in the final round of overtime.
The full commit does not pay off, but they do have the ability to upgrade.
Yeah, Device leans forward, extends those arms, grabs that rifle. Still enough utility to try to blanket this bomb site, but who's going to be standing here? It's Xerxin and it's Torji in the back of that bomb site, the most clutch player for MOUZ throughout this series so far. These are the two highest rated players for MOUZ coming into this semifinals.
Xerxin has to reload.
And so he's going to need Torji to step it up first, and he'll do exactly that. Fresh magazine off of the coffin, and the Astralis camp down to just two players. A full house for the defense. Astralis hate watchers feast. 8 rounds of a regulation comeback and an overtime win for MOUZ. This is a MOUZ who may have lost the head of their camp, but a recovery, resilience, and a win.
Guys, we're going to see if Astralis are able to power up their game on Nuke. Back over to Scrawny and Launders.
Thank you, gentlemen. Nuke up next. A question mark for Astralis, not only when it comes to this CT side that bottomed out on map 1, but one, of course, that matters about the mental. Can they rebound from this? It is elimination on the line for Astralis. Haven't won a playoff game since Cologne of 2023 until yesterday. The thought of them being able to do that 2 days in a row now seems like it's slipping away from the realm of possibility.
Yeah, you don't want it to be the one a year. That's not a good stat line for sure. Astralis, especially the fashion in which they lose that first map after having MOUZ on the ropes, scared, showing such great CS. I'm sure they're feeling a little deflated now. We'll have to earn it back. And MOUZ, on the other hand, well, I don't really have a question about whether or not they can play this map. Astralis's sort of record is a series of Christmas lights right now. Win-loss, win-loss.
Sure.
Their nuke is just great or not, and their last loss was obviously really bad.
Xerxin trying to pounce first, looking to get this going outside. He will be dropped by the garage player stare. It's a clean triple kill. The fact he's able to get 3 kills on that entire front-running pack is one thing, but the bomb carrier gets kind of stalled out in garage. It's a good trade back, right? It's a weird one to get. You got Cadian stuck up here on the AC unit. You got Device right down. Are we going to be looking at all 10 kills coming down? Oh, right here, outer. What a weird spot for everybody to end up falling. But now Brolin, I mean, have you ever seen somebody locked in this corner? And have you ever seen anybody fight their way out? Because catching Cadian up top is one thing, but you've got Device on the prowl, and we don't know where he's at. Look at that reposition.
Can't find him.
Huh? How sneaky that is. Well highlighted. Chev gets the man out and hiding behind the staircase. And that move from Device, right? That kind of instinct from Device is maybe what could take Astralis to another level.
Yeah, man. I mean, Dust talked about the heyday of Astralis, and Astralis were the team that, you know, with new Nuke, they were the first and the best at it, and Device is the most important player on that map. He's the guy who controls yard. Dust listed off all the different ways in which he plays it. And the reason he said heyday is because it's not Device's heyday right now. But it'll have to be if they win this map. And he can be inconsistent, but it's a game now where we've got 3 pistol rounds out for Astralis. And they've actually been very clean on the anti-ecos.
Yes, sir. They've converted both of them, right? That was the thing Pimp made sure to highlight. Like, if you look at the checklist of how to win a game of Counter-Strike, well, pistols, full conversions, comfortable 12-4 lead. It's the fall apart that happens after that that'll have to be studied as time goes on. Now suddenly MOUZ have shown us real promise. You know, one of the things Dustin was able to highlight on the desk too was talking about Xerxin and his success when it comes to entry fragging outer, but we are talking about now a playoff game. And when we go back to the T side of Inferno, it was again a bit of an underperformance from him. Lowest rated player on that half, but you know what they did have going for them? Spinks. And if Spinks is going to be the guy that picks up any sort of slack that these at time nervous players offer MOUZ, then so be it. This time, nothing able to happen from that outer fight. It is basically the same setup yet again from the Danes, and they make sure to keep everybody alive as they go up to the comfortable 2-0 start.
Yeah, Spinks was awesome. He looked like he opened up as well as a player and was in there. And even though his kills weren't resulting in the rounds won in the first half, he was kind of their only good player. Like they just did not frag enough behind him. It's not that he wasn't getting impactful kills. It's just that the conversions from his teamates weren't there. Jimmy had, you know, a kill for the majority of that half. So I feel like he was a two-way player that game, showed a lot. See the double nades coming out. I don't think Exertion thinks anyone crossed red though, so yeah. It's good info gathered. Exertion keeps coming forward.
These are just MP9s at a bit of a further distance. You give the edge to Exertion, but he does get softened up to 59 health on the crossover. All the while, of course, we are setting up what is a ramp hit.
Wait, there's no one here.
No, the ramp defense is looking a little thin.
Wait, it's a massive gap. That
by
smoke
thin,
is so
I mean
deep.
non-existent.
Yeah.
Device is downstairs, so I suppose he's in a place to make something happen. Cadian's even being able to get out from thence. Remember that early cross damage. This could end up cutting off one half of MOUZ's lower play.
I mean, this is great from Astralis.
They're
Every
gonna push.
rotation is in place.
They're going to try to jump at him.
Okay.
That's one way to get the job done. Famas in control gets spotted. That's not ideal. Device was just trying to lean into the corner, but it is an approach from MOUZ that remains on high alert.
Opening
it's a bomb
this door.
plant, uncontested.
Yeah, opening this door is really great. It's just so hard to get down here. As much as it looks like it's open for the CTs, it's also them who have to be worried about being held from every angle.
Single side opened up. That's Jabby to find an angle. He's trying to wall bang into the feet of Brolin.
Oh,
Ooh,
that's
that
not
ain't
a
pretty.
great spray.
Torji walks forward, offers up man advantage. Now we get that retake coming out from ramp in a second. It's Brolin versus the ramp player in a moment, but now this is a second time that T's are just dropping the ball. Not one kill in that post plant.
Yo.
And you know what? That's excellent upgrades. Astralis not only to the 3-0 start, but those MP9s replaced by AKs, and that's offering up a bomb plant, but coming in with a retake clean.
I think the important part about that is they were hitting shots. Every single position was accounted for MOUZ. They took all the duels in the ways they wanted to, but Astralis just out-dueled them. There were some bad sprays right there. Out of MOUZ. Astralis had full control, and you know how hard it is to win a retake on this map. Very solid stuff. Half buy-in. Spinks on a Galil. Everyone else, Tech-9s or P250s.
Device on an early opening angle. This will certainly catch Xertion off. He tries to give it a little wiggle, and down he goes. Cadian right there to support it, so nice ramp play. Now it's a position for Cadian that is a bit of a question mark still, having to go over, play ramp, and still keep a great eye for the rest of the game. Brolin just spinning his tires in the mud here as MOUZ are left with a very difficult task. How the hell are you going to get anything done with a couple flashes and a Galil versus the 5 players of Astralis?
Yeah, sometimes it's tempting to just wait the round out, walk out squeaky, but it's just too early to make a late decision like that. Down will not get caught off guard. There's a first. T's just looking for some duels.
It's a Tech-9 versus an M4, so I wouldn't bet Torji. Great start for all the players across Astralis. Everybody getting a piece of the action so far in the first 3. And Device waiting if you want to try to go for the cross. Main really their only option, and Tech-9 could have thrived here. Galil gets the trait frag, but it is a fast response, and Astralis are just ready to sign up for early fights.
Don't worry, they won't let you down again.
Don't get everybody's hopes up.
It's a good start, that's what it is.
You can't make that promise.
You're right, I'm projecting.
They can't make that promise.
I say that nervously as we see again, quality starts. So Astralis, I mean, you get a lead enough times, you win 2 pistols in a map enough times. They'll close eventually. MOUZ can't simply start slow every single half.
Although so far they have, and up a map. Jabby, I like this. Trying to join up with what we've already seen out of this same aggressive stance. Oh, Jimmy, nicely done. Snaps it for a third.
Oh, there he is.
Jimpat under pressure. Head on a swivel, swings. And he takes down a trio of Astralis players trying to take over that lobby control.
Guess it just took him half a map to warm up.
Man, we got to see that from his POV, but now only on 5 health. You'd think the other players from MOUZ are going to have to end this if they can. Device and Stown stepping forward. Torji ready for that one. And Stown so far removed from anything, he just looks for a fight outside, loses his head. Xertion's getting online, and that's MOUZ's first round by way of Jimmy.
Yeah, there we go. Again, tough first half of the day. First half of the map for Jimmy, but second half was a big recovery. And now map 2, look at this play here. We didn't see anything like this on Inferno. Really nicely done. 3 different fights from 3 different positions.
Good on him, too, to not get fixated in on the second player he saw.
Oh, there he is. eBay. It's got to be a special moment for him, you know? Back to Cluj after 10 years. His career just took off last year.
You know what they say, if you can't play, cast. Yeah. Happy he gets a moment in the crowd. So, quick timeout here, huh? I'm going to try to fix any early issues, but I like the aggression we're getting out of Astralis early. Pretty consecutive lobby crunches. Now Device putting that AWP in garage, because there has been this pretty present MOUZ approach. We're not going to get to see these Oppers duel, despite Device having started all these other rounds on that ramp room. You can see Torji maybe signing up to try to find him. He won't find anything, because again, this is a moment where Astralis play nothing inside of ramp.
Open fording ramp. I mean, this is a spot where you can't... Oh,
sorry, Device.
Man, that's too big of a gap, my friend. Nah, that's definitely very weird.
He was so confident that was clear. Has an entire team inside of the ramp room ready to go. I suppose at least it's Astralis downstairs.
He ran over to Molly.
Oh yeah, he was.
Wait, where's our ramp player, guys?
He had drank that Kool-Aid. Now we'll see if Cadian can secure a distraction for Jabby to try to make the most of this one.
Stown dies.
Utility in front of it. Oh, Jabby's got a chance. But it's a quick trade frag back, and on top of that, Cadian dead in the back of the bomb site.
I really want to
And we've got another freebie. So 2 free frags coming out from MOUZ, the first and the last, and a nice clean lower hit that goes well for a second terrorist round win to the MOUZ camp.
You know, if you condition your opponents, then you can kind of... Oh.
Hey.
It's not too bad. You know, if you condition your opponents, then you can kind of earn the ability to open fort the ramp or try to take some kind of lead. But with the amount of like guns and utility they had, it looked like they just made a mistake. Especially with how frantic that was from Device getting into Turnpike and realizing there was no teammates there. They make the early rotations downstairs, which is nice. But the reason that you need to hold on to ramp even though you can't plant is because it's an open route to get to hell as well. And then if you have that gap, then suddenly upstairs player can't focus on the floor. They've just got to focus on the ladder. It just gets really stressed. But for whatever reason, MOUZ found that easily.
Easy pickups. Stown won't be able to get the second, but it is immense damage for Spinks to have to deal with. Jabby just trying to keep his head down while Hut remains smoked. And we got Device in transition, but is this going to get caught out? Oh, the timing was nearly there.
Spinks is really worried about this.
He's able to climb up. Device seems to be aware of it.
Oh, he's going to miss the time, but he still has a problem here. Because if he can't get back up to heaven fast enough, then he has to respect that Spinks could have crossed already, and Spinks,
nice recovery here from Torji. I mean, we'll dissect it in a second. Right now, we've got main pressure, 45 seconds on this clock. Jabby playing behind Petrus. He gets cleared out. Instant headshot. Nothing from Stair. Jimmy just locks in.
Jimmy Neutron, man. How did he figure out that crossfire so perfectly? No one peeking from opposite vents. That is chef's kiss.
All right, so
let's
unpack this one with Device having to come out to clear upper. You know the player's up there. You do a good job. You know you can catch him before he can get into heaven.
I like removing the problem that way.
But Device obviously just kind of lets his guard down and ends up getting clipped by Torji. That's what opens up that main hit.
Well, you got to take some risks. That's why I say that letting Spinks get up there was the problem in the first place. Obviously, he didn't know he was low, didn't want to take a shot too early, and barely had time to even put that together. But a lot of situations you could have got that kill and just ran back into hell. But you don't win. You don't win in CS by taking no risks at all.
And then we just get this really silent walkout from Jimmy, who goes up 6-4. off of that double kill.
That was nasty. I mean, it's a perfect read on both players in the site. I don't even know if sound was made.
(4-3) lead. MOUZ catching up early.
Yeah, T-side comeback. Impact from Jim Pat.
Economic problems here, Astralis. You're dealing with USPs. You've got a Zeus on the field. That's always fun. Crowd went wild when Elige got Zeused by Saw. I expect nothing less. Xertion's already crossed, though. He's been pretty quick with some of these outer timings. There's always a world where maybe Torji gets caught by something, but again, that one M4 is all they really have to work with, and it's currently in the middle of this outer pack. It's with Cadian, who just lost his head. Spinks off the top of main, cracks the whip, and that's going to be the best thing Astralis had to work with down, and at the moment, irretrievable. Spinks making sure he keeps eyes on the corpse.
Yeah, T's just getting to all the good positions. Not really response just yet. No massive rotation from the CT side. They are playing active spots at least, but still not great guns.
Nice tethering coming out of MOUZ here, making sure nobody has to do too much on their own. Always a teammate close by. And every teammate at the moment finding frags.
Gotta love the way that MOUZ are working this comeback right now. Anti-ecos look safe, methodical, but moving with time. Found ramp open 2 rounds already. Of these 3. Now the last kill looks like it'll just be a formality. Spinks waiting, watching for this eco frag.
Yeah. Sorry, Stair, you're toast. All tied up, 4 rounds each. But again, pistol, conversion,
Yeah.
This has unfortunately become the tale of Astralis.
It's a bit of an earlier comeback this time.
Pistols and strong starts, all great, but leads being lost.
This one's kind of hard to fight back against, though. The X Factor Jimmy showed on 2 of those rounds.
Yes, sir.
Both rifle rounds inside a lobby, holding the super aggressive push, and it was a 3-piece push, right? He killed a squeaky guy, a ramp guy, and the hut player at the same time. That's what you're supposed to be doing if you're Astralis. You got one guy in there. I think Jim Pat last year, he was exceptional, but he was also inconsistent, and I think he could have been even better.
The weird thing with his, inconsistencies, I thought some of the weakest Jimmy play we ended up getting was once it was rumored that he was getting a kind of bigger call-up. Kind of just treaded water for a little while, but then got back to it towards the end of the year. And, nice to have him here, 7-4 so far, map 2. Such an incredibly slow start back on Inferno. That's not the Jimmy anybody wanted to see on the stage today. This one looking more like it. So, fast move, device ready. We've had these ops moving places. People alluded to that. This dynamic Astralis, starting positions never too clear. But a climb down the vent, Jabby turns his back to Squeaky, careful.
Man, Jimmy's been thinking, but okay, he doesn't try anything fishy here. So powerful to have someone like Exertion be able to squeeze outside the same time that you're going for an aggressive pick play inside of Squeaky and make up for that kill coming down. It's not 1-1. The op is still up here for Astralis, but makes it the instant 4v4 early.
Gonna make sure that secret challenge can't come out, but doesn't mean there's not anybody down there. You can see Device through the concrete. It's a matter of patience, and we know this position so great for that consistent op fallback. Control of the A site opens the door for the vent rotate, so Device doesn't need to panic on this one, and he's gonna await this. 3 players come at him, but he starts to leave just as they get ever closer. We hit 40 seconds. Device gets down onto the staircase. Good. At least he doesn't get caught out in the open. He could pop up, and will do that. Thirds,
put on a
right
show.
There for the taking. Brolin, though, able to get the headshot back. This would be a 2v4 recovery. Back turn to Jimmy. So this is both positions known to the CTs, but what? Cadian's spinning around like he doesn't know the guy's right there. Jabby's inside of the vent, kills Brolin. And now things get really
He's gotta
weird.
go for it.
Jimmy's got to drop down into event versus Jabby. You'd think Jabby gets this every day of the week, and he will. Closes down on it. And good on him to drop bomb on B. You know, Brolin thinking that with main opened up, maybe he should come up A. They didn't know about the rotations of the Danes. If only he knew that B site was his for the taking.
Astralis gave up a lot of space here, allowed them to take over the secret, and I think that that's because they had Device on the control stairs. He's an op in the spot. If they went upper, he wouldn't have been able to get into the mix. So him starting here inconspicuously is what won the round. Astralis retained the lead off of this, and it's good rifle to
Double
show us that
ops.
they're still alive.
Cadian and Device gonna have hands on the cannons.
Yeah.
And Xerxin wasting no time. Oh, slides past the op. Now, it takes a little bit of extra time versus Stound. Still gets it fast. Out from Hut at the same time. Stair's been found out. Spinks returns the favor back on that one. And we actually have Xerxin dying outer. Jabby, I love this. Already starting to compromise this back line. They'll never see it coming. He waits to get close. Spinks catches him off. 1v2 left, but both these players playing with ops.
And Spinks has been super active, but now we see him in a rare 1v2 situation. Bomb in a recoverable position. 2 ops for this retake.
Easy to pick up, you'd think. Nobody holding this line. Spinks is able to cross right over and pick that up, and now the world is his oyster. What is his route?
I think, you know, he can totally take this ramp if he wants to, but it just makes it such a long round. Instead, he's hoping that they decide to do something different. Delaying for time resets where you could go. You see Astralis now looking at other avenues. They cannot afford to get flanked. All Spinks is doing is opening up timings as he goes back into upper, and it's worked.
It's allowed for the CTs to split up.
In exchange, though, you allow them to do this. Get to new, better spots, potentially.
Can he get off the site? Does anybody give him a fight before the second player is ready? Spinks' positioning's key here. He's got that Heaven player waiting, and he's managed to get off of this. And right now, Device wary of some kind of a squeaky push,
Wait,
but also
he's not
approaching
going
it to
squeaky. Well, how could you assume? Spinks has taken the reverse route. Cadian up here in Heaven.
Spinks comes back outside. His Cadian out. There he is. Contact made. Clean headshot.
Doesn't know about Device.
No,
Device
he
starts
doesn't,
running.
but he's got a couple flashes, and Device with that op.
He's out of there.
He's missed his first shot. Spinks dives back in. This is what they need from Spinks. Big ticket player.
Wow, he's
clutches. 1v2. Neither op able to find him. They had their shots, but this is Spinks going map to map, back to back impact.
Wow, this is so awkward. There was no gun for them to change to. Obviously, they would have loved to have a rifle and maybe could have come at that together, but instead, Spinks hits that a fantastic shot up into the heavens. Cadian could have put him away. Don't know exactly what he was looking at from his POV, but it starts off with the surf frag out of Xerxin and Spinks' entry upstairs.
Just a haircut onto Cadian. Yeah, well earned. Taking his time, split up the defense, and then he made that move without waiting too much longer, right? There's a world where he waits a bit too long, and Device finds him in transition.
Oh, tag going down the stairs.
What the hell is that shot? Stound just trying to get out of his opening spot. That double op that they are able to put forward last round ends up being costly. We now have limitations here. Double SMG for Astralis.
Yeah, I feel like that's an advantage. You do 80 damage here. I feel like this makes it scary for the TTs about upstairs now. You know, one committed rotation has come down. They're looking to cross up and chase down this player who's low. And the CTs just want to help out any way they can.
Yeah, trying their best to soften them up. It's a bit of damage on Xerxin, bit of damage on Torji. Cadian of 2 mines, and MP9s are going to go pushing into Jimmy in a second. He better get ready. Oh, nice one from Stair. But they actually double back.
Whoa,
and
what is the spot, actually?
Yeah, right, this hasn't been seen. Device is just, what is this?
This is a crazy position. Let's see if this works out. Oh no, he's gonna get spotted! Oh. And that is the double-edged sword of playing a spot like that.
Yeah, he starts asking himself, why am I on this barrel? Realizes he probably shouldn't be there, but then unfortunately gets caught in transition.
Man, why did he have to worry about, you know, ramp when he had teammates there as well?
This is a crazy wrap back around. Think about the route that not one or two, the entire MOUZ team was down secret, came back through garage, now to ramp.
No smokes. No smokes.
All right.
Time is a problem.
They
can go for the Astralis plant. Cadian could dive it. Oh, he's going to find a big opportunity.
Drops an incendiary of his own. Spinks is carrying that bomb, so
they're
going to
letting him
have
cross.
Spinks with hands busy, and that's just enough time to put this bomb down. They're going to rush at him. Cadian comes out with another kill. Then all of a sudden, the meat grinder backside. Brolin's got to go big. Drops down.
Whoa.
Can't snap it backwards.
Ooh.
A 180 needed, but take a bow. Cadian, the only piece downstairs, just keeps that pressure up. Sure, Spinks is allowed to plant, but Cadian comes swinging out that door with the second frag on B.
Yeah, again, no smokes going lower. It's always a really tough thing to do. Upper, you can plant just watching heaven with one other player or whatever the case may be. Lower, you need control side or you need a smoke for decon. In this situation, I thought Spinks made the winning play though. Being able to cross to the outside of the site. This is just a weird moment for Xerxin and the team for not hearing the decon door open, because this was the only way that Astralis could win the round.
Yeah, and I mean, Torsey just ends up looking a little foolish.
Yeah.
They're playing on the Astralis plant, staring at the double doors.
Don't even know how they all died right there. So Astralis, once again, they keep the lead. This one's been scrappy, back and forth.
Nice sudden burst out from Cadian to try to get Astralis not only back in the lead, but to maintain it. And it is him again to get aggressive. It's not as strong of a performance as he had back on Inferno, but it's definitely being impact felt here in the final 2 rounds of regulation. This 12-round half looking for a 7-5 lead. Cadian again into the kill feed, helps out Outer. Man advantage for Astralis. MOUZ gonna look to keep this one simple, challenging. Stare! Incredibly awkward. Torsey's gonna capitalize, open A site, nobody to stop this bomb plant because they've got vision deep inside of main. And they'll smoke that off to give Brolin a bit more of an option. Now he has an entire belt of utility. Another molly, another smoke.
And they have Hut left over here. CT's roaming around. They've been pretty good in these retakes for the most part.
Just refreshing the smoke on main causes a problem. They're gonna try to burst it open. Brolin almost caught as he decides to go over onto second vent. That CT smoke taking away his original position. Heaven flash. Torsey remains fine in front sight to hold back on Device, who eventually has to come out. And he's gonna try to charge through smoke, but it's all good. A tied half after a 4-0 start. Astralis yet to start slow, but MOUZ yet to get back into these halves.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the last match and how well MOUZ played, and we know if we look at the odds of this game, it's MOUZ who should be favored, but Astralis showed they could keep up. For me, this half is still good from Astralis. It was successful in the comeback from MOUZ, but we had a lot of rounds with ideas. I don't see them getting lucky in winning some of these plays. Some of the earlier decisions to leave ramp open were a little strange, but they didn't continue to do that. So, I mean, they kept up. It's a CT half that obviously you'd love to have it 8-4 or even above that, but I think they'll take it. Astralis on their best day can be good on both sides of Nuke. It's just, it's hard to pinpoint what's stopping them from being consistent. Yeah, be thinking, damn, we had Inferno, bro.
Just a cool guy, hands in his pockets.
Yeah.
I love the aggression that Cadian starts to throw out towards the end of this half. Fighting fire with fire.
That's so uncomfortable for Stare. He takes like a second to shoot, and then he jumps as well. It's just everything went wrong. And
very
that was
awkward.
That was like a round-winning sight hold for sure if he just got that first kill. So Pistol, let's see if Astralis are going to win 4 pistols in this series.
Or do MOUZ finally get one? It's smoke in hand for the door. Oh, love a P250 and a pistol.
Yeah.
That's Torsey tapped out of the round. Ooh, Xerxin gets aggressive with Berettas. Compromising the lobby control is going to flush Astralis forward. Looking good for MOUZ, at least for a moment. Brolin in between a couple more. Jimmy's got one out from heaven. There's that P250 back out of the hands of Device. Jabby trying to find impact somehow. He is swarmed, but that's still not going to stop him. 1v4 demanded of him, separated duels, player up in heaven known to him, and now this guy behind is on a reload. They're coming at him, and that's going to be enough. 2 kills into the 1v4 cut down. MOUZ find their first pistol of this series.
That's curse broken for MOUZ, and at a terrible time here, because again, 8-4, 9-3 CT side, that's kind of where you want to be, but MOUZ will instantly take the lead as they switch over to the stronger half.
Nice start from Device. Couldn't really ask for more outer than dropping a garage player.
Gotta love the way Brolin's playing. I mean, the IGL wing on the comeback has to be noted. The T side was so good from the perspective of conditioning. I think it's the single most important thing to be regarded as a good in-game leader, and he pulled that off, especially under pressure. But also, he was such a key player when it came to the kills. And the fact that he can focus on his crosshair, hit the entries that he did, I think speaks volumes. Brolin definitely will still need to think about himself as an individual.
Ooh, Xerxin trying to challenge top main, actually drops an M4. Ooh, this one could be a great moment for Astralis. That's a weapon to be retrieved. They're going to try to drop down over main. Oh, Brolin's now been damaged. He'll get dropped by the Tech 9. They're going to try to gun for these rifles, and Jimmy's here to try to hold them back. Spinks has caught Jabby elsewhere. More chip damage done to the CT towards his spawn.
Oh,
They're definitely making MOUZ work for this conversion.
Yeah, it's a crazy move,
Careful,
actually.
Torzi, knife out!
Oh, he's dead.
And that is a bomb carrier in Cadian to just go sprinting down into this B site. No matter what happens from here on out, this is already a solid situation for Astralis. Stare with a Desert Eagle in the vent, so awkward.
Ooh, how'd he get out?
But he is here with Cadian. Spink's gonna try to keep that pressure up, and all this does is buy time for Jimmy to come out. More damage, but the SMG is able to thrive at least for one more. Can Stare post 3 kills in this force buy.
Yeah.
Jimmy is on top of that bomb, and this is a 10-second defuse. And that 10-second defuse beyond the halfway point, you got him off. Just that one step at the base of the stairs is enough. Stare is going to be found out eventually. Jimmy comes at him, but he doesn't have time to run back to that bomb.
Yeah, he's got to get out of here.
Astralis breakthrough with the force buy.
Wow, okay, well, Astralis. 3 pistols, and they deny the conversion even when MOUZ take it. That's a great look for them. There's a moment in the round where Jimmy went into emergency protocols, and he had to expand through CT, take fights on the way. But when he did that, I think that looked like an opportunity to Astralis. He's kind of out of the round, because if he comes back, well, then he has to worry about a big garage lurk. Then he has to worry about someone on Unbreakable waiting for him, someone who's trying to cross up the heaven. He could stop them from getting to hell from there by keeping range with his weapon. It's a great spot to play to start. But when you get spotted, this is a moment where Astralis are like, all right, you're getting farther away from the sights. I'm going to take this secret.
And down in secret, what do you find? Torzi unprepared.
Yep.
That Tech 9 to the face. And Cadian, like you're saying, I think read the situation well. The moment he gets the Torzi kill, he still remembers Jim Pat out of the moment, sprints that bomb down to the B plant.
I'll say, though, you got to be careful. These 3 FAMASes, the players on MOUZ right now, any of them can pop off. It's a low util round, but Nuke is a scary map if you are just a touch uncoordinated on T side. Calling has to be pristine.
MOUZ aren't timid. They're already making moves. That's lobby control for them. Eyes are going to be turned back outer.
They're threatening the wrap, but they're already taking over vents control downstairs.
Ooh.
Limited knowledge here from MOUZ as to where everyone is.
Brolin's found a little position behind this smoke.
I mean, it's 3 people downstairs. Bomb's also going down. Commitment's coming in. Torzi, how far will he go?
Thing is, Stairs already locked into decon door.
Well, the CT's starting to leave as well, because again, they don't have info. Seeing no one outside.
Right.
But what's the sign here?
Oh
my god, the timing. Wait, bomb gets spotted.
There is a player behind you. Torzi's got a guy towards decon.
But wait.
The fact he's able to get out is one thing. Xerxin's now going to have to play the floor.
No!
Oh, Brolin!
He was on the ladder.
Off of the ladder, gets the kill. Stare again, just stopping players in that vent, can take the bomb and go upstairs. Now that is a wild evacuation.
Oh, I was thinking they're going to take the vent upstairs, but in this spot, they had someone in the vent. And Brolin, he should have died. This guy was definitely on the ladder. We need a new icon in the kill feed for that kind of frag. For him, it's simple.
Jabby hangs on to the Heaven control, so there shouldn't be really a retake attempt thrown at this, but I mean, you're going to have Jimmy challenging Heaven soon enough, and then all of a sudden we're going to get this rifle duel, because again, it's 3 FAMASes in hand. Losing the Heaven player could be critical, but yeah, MOUZ, you're not getting out now. No chance to get back at this site. Dude, Stare was down in the moat with the crocodiles,
Whew, and
he
scary.
still gets both kills as they emerge from that.
So, great mid-round moment for Astralis, and they get the conversion. They deny the force back, the 3 FAMASes that come into this round. They keep the lead once again. I mean, this game is narrow margins, man. Every round going back and forth.
And eventually, this is going to set up a perfect moment for Astralis to just have a clean advantage over a bye, and it looks like this round's that. Xerxin looking real talkative, and he has, in some of these post-game interviews, been speaking about how not only does he have to play his role very well without having someone to kind of manage him as well as Shuhei would have, but he's also just trying to offer up more support as a space creator so that guys like Jimmy can get in. He says he wants to see Jimmy's full potential unlocked in this version of MOUZ. Right now, it's just Spinks, 5-7 in hand over towards that ramp.
No one Turnpike to take attention away. I mean, decent protocols make sure that Spinks doesn't get a kill. We'll see.
There's, of course, that one Galil floating out there in the hands of Xerxin. Spinks, Jabby looking very ready for this spot. 5-7 bested. Torzy going to try to spam a smoke with a USP. They don't give a damn about that one.
Man, Xerxin always finds a way to answer back on another part of the map. As soon as the first kill goes down.
Ooh.
Oh, be careful.
And he's always so fast with it, it's actually impossible for us to see both kills because it's instant.
He's desperately holding on to this information, but the smoke and decon is hard to disrespect. Perfect
Nice
call
move.
here from Astralis. Okay, they take upper. Yeah.
What's wrong there, Launders? Nervous? Understandably. Stair has been remaining a key piece, I think, to keeping these options open. We saw him last round down towards decon door, even though Torzy did get by him. Able to recover.
Coming up next is the full strength buy here for MOUZ.
We'll see if Xerxin can rack up any kind of a cost. No, it's in fact 4 players to survive here for Astralis. 9-7 on the lead.
It's only 7 o'clock.
Jabby coming out from heaven. Good ramp to heaven move from Astralis. I think showing a little bit of dynamic approach here on the T side so far. It's MOUZ's map pick, but it's Astralis' lead.
Am I missing something? Are there no kits on this round here?
You are correct.
Ooh. No retakes here from MOUZ.
Just don't lose the bomb sites.
Low on grenades anyway, so I guess that sort of makes sense.
Sounds simple.
In a sense, we'll see if this round continues in a way that isn't comfortable for MOUZ. They will play to save with majority. They're really just hoping a mistake gets made for the opening kill.
Stair's been a fun little X factor for Astralis so far, kind of operating on his own more often than not.
Oh, Torzy's spot with no information as they're wrapping outside definitely gets scary, but he has hit his presence really well.
Finds the garage player. A little more damage on Stair.
Bomb
Jimmy's here, but smoked off. But because the bomb gets stopped, Stown goes, runs over and picks it up. You've got a player still climbing up into heaven slowly but surely in Stair. But you've got Jimmy waiting to get the ball rolling somehow back in the favor of MOUZ. Meanwhile, players dying elsewhere. This is looking like a prime chance for Astralis to pinch down onto this A site soon. Not yet. They'll still have to cross back over it, and trying to do that, it was a great chance for the Finn. Brolin also bested.
What a shot,
And
Jabby.
these are CTs dropping with nothing to show for it. Xerxin on the recovery up into heaven denied. 4 stand tall. Astralis 10-7.
Hey, that was amazing. I mean, from the perspective of shots, getting Stair up in heaven. They had it all going that round. That was beautiful, dare I say, for Astralis. Getting to 10 first once again. This time, it's not just like they streaked and got here. Again, 3 pistols. They lose the 4th one, but they deny the conversion. And Astralis kick off 4 halves in a row the right way. If they give up that outside control, there will be moments where Spinks can die in mini to an up, where a trade can happen like this to Torzy, who doesn't know what's going on. On Nuke, you can't simply let people wrap outside. But at the same time, we saw the utility left over for MOUZ. It's not like they could take full control of everything.
Shouldn't be able to take control of anything here in the 18th. Pistols around for MOUZ. It's an 11th round prime for Astralis.
Yeah, it's another round. Just no silly mistakes here for Astralis. And at this point, it's not like they've been ecoed 5 times. They've been doing a great job on anti-ecos.
Setting their sights on this A site. Brolin's in a smoke with a 5-7. Ooh, this could get a little wild. Second player tries to get out from heaven. Flashback. They're wary of backside. Brolin gonna get dropped by it. And so Katie in good position here to whole collection of utility up into heaven to make sure that Spinks can't get out with his 5-7. And so the Danes do a great job of just tiptoeing their way through the A site with nades, with protocols, with even a cautious approach, right? Cadian taking his time with the wraparound from smoke. Yes, it gives Brolin a chance to kill somebody else in Hut, but even if that starts to go south, Cadian in a great position for a recovery. So it's got to be said, the team play's looking good for Astralis. And individually, right, what had been lacking lately was just some of the individual impact. But kills don't seem to be a problem. You've got Jabby again topping the charts, looking fantastic as he yet again collects these easier kills. An 11th round to the board for Astralis, 2 rounds from a decider map versus MOUZ.
They won't let you down again. Cadian dies the bomb, still 3 alive here for Astralis. Who wants map 3? Want the full show. I mean, Astralis, I think at this point you kind of just keep it calm, like keep working. Good ideas coming out off the tack pauses. T side's looking sharp. CT side maybe wasn't what you wanted, but you make up for it by denying the second pistol conversion. Put yourself in a great spot.
Careful now.
But again, the last time MOUZ didn't have the utility to make all the moves they wanted to. Now they have that utility, less of an excuse.
Jimmy's gonna have his hands full. Utility coming at him. Yeah, they pop that smoke open. Jimmy's good to go. Torji, can he recover the control of ramp? He'll bring one down, and then he uses that as a chance to escape. Big pickup. Stair has been good in these mid rounds in just getting that edge back. The moment MOUZ had a man advantage, it gets taken from him, and I love this reposition. I find Stair one of these guys who's so hard to keep track of. And that's such a cool dynamic to the Astralis T side when he's able to thrive in those moments. But speaking of keeping track of people, Stown has this crazy route up into heaven, gets found out.
Oh, that disengage is beautiful.
Brolin can't deal with it, or he's not supposed to, turns back. I mean, you would have had to hurt the player drop out of heaven until you had to worry about it.
I mean, the disengage is fantastic out of Stown. He doesn't need to win that duel. It's a spot where he could have taken it, risked it, but instead, it's what gets the Hut player dead on his side. There's a guy who's overstressed in that spot. It's more important they take upstairs than fight the extremities. And look, now Spinks, all he can do is fall back. 12 rounds again.
Wow, lo and behold, Astralis on 12. With 5 rounds to close this map. Where have I seen this before?
It's an easier comeback than last time, actually. So I want to put it that way. MOUZ already have him scared.
Man, but to be honest, man, this CT side has been non-existent.
Yeah.
It was a pistol round for MOUZ and then a choke to convert it.
Yeah, 1 round.
6 rounds ever since.
0 rifles.
8-round T-side comeback over on Inferno to get us into Nuke. It's gonna have to be 5 straight here. Astralis, huh? 2 wins back-to-back in the playoffs, Launders. I thought it was impossible. I thought those days were long behind us. But it seems to be an Astralis that's figuring out CS2 on an individual level, just looking clean with these kills. Time to kills are crisp. Jabby's flying.
He's levitating.
Oh, that's how it's witchcraft. It's at least a full-blown buy for MOUZ. Map 3 waits in the wings. It is ancient needed, if not for Torji finding a 5v4, but you've got to give him credit. Astralis have been able to recover from early deaths.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's the end-all be-all for the squad right now. This is actually a lot of pressure on ramp as well. Jimmy's trying to find a way to like get back into this, and Cadian's showing him that he's not scared. This will have Jimmy recede. But there's no over-adjustment here from the CTs. They've still got 4 upstairs.
Spinks doesn't hear anything outside. We're going to get MOUZ still trying to make moves. You don't want too many question marks, but this is a lot of players allocated to taking over ramp.
Yes, and they don't know if the exec's coming back, but they just cleared that out with Jimmy to help him get into a better spot.
He puts a smoke down. T is down to a double smoke, double molly execute. Could still be thrown out at 45 seconds. Of course, we've still got utility defensively for Brolin and Torji to also be offered up. Brolin just staring at this squeaky smoke, so you'd think that gun's not going anywhere.
I mean, it looks like the smoke just ruined all of Cadian's plans. They're
Frank
just going
goes
to go
a little
back
too
upstairs.
far. Incendiary in front of it. He cuts off the front runner. That's a bomb in the background. It's great damage offered up by Stown. They try to open up that squeaky smoke. Here comes Cadian, and that's going to get caught by Brolin. A third!
Wow.
But all the while, we've got Stown downstairs, but it's all good. Jimmy, cold as ice, sits on top of site. 5 alive for MOUZ. And those are the sorts of rounds that they will have to piece together for the next 4 to push overtime for a second map in a row.
Yeah, that one froze your eyebrow a little bit here from Astralis. I mean, it is a round where they start off 4v5, so it's never easy, of course. But once it comes to the ramp play that happens, I think MOUZ are the ones who make the better move. They have 2 players come and help Jimmy re-clear the ramp early. Then they come back upstairs with a lot of confidence. And again, no overcorrection. They just left Jimmy downstairs the entire time, just in case it was a threat. That's a great round for MOUZ. Their first rifle of
Fast
the map.
challenge, here we go, Mac 10 to the front. Spinks turns. It's a lethal mistake, a wraparound for bomb site. Zertian's at least able to bring one with him. But we've got Torji smoked off. Heaven challenge from Jimmy. He's gonna got the clutch. He's got a bit of damage on Squeaky, but it's a bust. MOUZ falter as Astralis peel off on a T side. MOUZ, who looked solid in the first half, had pistol in their back pocket and allowed Astralis back into this game, back into a semi. Ancient separates them. Online matches and looking like fools. And now here they are on the brink of grand finals over MOUZ.
It's the perfect way to set up a third map. Ancient is the perfect place for Astralis and MOUZ to go to. With the new calling of Brolin, I'm a bit wary of getting too excited about the T side on this map. It might be their biggest test, but it's one they have to pass.
Come on, Cluj. One final map. MOUZ and Astralis, grand finals. Could you imagine Device back in a grand finals, Mohan? Can you imagine? Because I'll tell you, it hasn't happened since 2021. Wow. It's been a long time coming.
Was that even a LAN?
It was.
Wow.
The only thing is he was in the Ninjas jersey. Frag grenade for Zertian.
Right.
He's going to get killed quickly. It's a chance to get it going. Spinks challenged over from Donut. It's a team kill? What? Somehow Device ends up shooting Jabby in the back of the head. That opens up the door for MOUZ to flood out. And it's MOUZ to take a second pistol in this series.
Okay, well that's not great here for Astralis, but listen, 3 out of 4 pistols, they won. The one they didn't win, they won the next round. Can still leave that record open here until round 2. Oh, a little unfortunate,
he
I guess.
asked for it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, nice start here for MOUZ. Less questions here on MOUZ's CT side for sure. And it was them versus FaZe, where I think on T side, they kind of like seized up a little bit. For sure. You know, didn't play really thorough rounds and defaults, and I think we're intimidated by the fact that it was FaZe. But that was a while ago. And teams have improved exponentially over the last week.
I think we could be watching Zertian really just become a beast as this one goes on. We'll see if he gets unleashed out through middle as another challenge comes at him inside a Donut. Pressure's up with the Deagle. You know, they were hunting for that bomb plant, but now Jabby's feeling pressure. Stoun's turned around the D. Oh! Tech9 on smoke! Now it's a 2 versus 1. Jabby's grabbed an M4. MOUZ can't afford this again!
No!
Just like back on Nuke, pistols mean nothing.
Pistols mean nothing.
When the force of Astralis comes through.
They've won 2 pistols in the series and got eco'd right after. And Cluj loves Astralis.
You know, I actually want to get a temperature check before this third map goes on. Who has changed from cheering from MOUZ to Astralis? Nobody? Is it still MOUZ? MOUZ win this? They'll have to rebound. They'll have to tap into the potential we've seen. 5-7 out for Brolin. Oh, come on, pistols go both ways. You know, if Astralis want to take the gloves off and fight fast, that opens up a world where MOUZ can unleash, but it's a man advantage established as they come up from that ramp.
Yes, it is. Bomb planted. Stair will get the reload off.
I don't know, man. There's an electricity here. I feel like the tempo of this third map could get quick. And we'll see who can thrive in that kind of an energetic scene. We saw that Cadian pop-off happen when they win map 2. Trying to convince Cluj that Astralis is their team.
I definitely want to see a lot of confidence calls from Astralis, and that's like very simple B takes. I want to see them try to bust out middle. I think right now they've shown that they can keep up on the firepower. Both teams have spots, entire halves, where they look off, and then they totally changed that story in the second half.
Yes.
They were kind of meeting each other in the middle in that sense. It's really just about who's going to make less mistakes over the course of a whole map. Who's going to be active on T side and CT side in the same map. That's what Ancient is going to be about with these two teams. And for MOUZ, it's calling back to a map that they understand, love, have played so long at such a high level. Now
Dare
with
I
the
say
addition
it,
of Spinks.
You know, it's a little, again, like we've said it before, it's the heroic-esque Cadian. You've got, I think Pimp said it earlier this event, where he said, you know, this is more heroic than Astralis when we talk about the core and the accomplishments. So to tap into that versus a team like MOUZ, I think is the perfect thing for Cadian to try to pull out of his hat. A bag of tricks with conviction for standing. Astralis up to a very early 3-1 lead despite losing pistol.
And again, it's the buy-in, right? Because it is 3/5 of heroic. It doesn't have Tessus, it doesn't have Shush, but those players bought in and they all played aggressively because of it. He could call 4-player rotations by himself, Cadian, and they would follow. He said jump, they said how high. It was simple as that on that last team. But when you come into a new lineup with new players, you've also got to create a new system and borrow a little bit from players like Device, who don't play like that in general. Finding that medium has been the challenge. We see spots where it's working. Astralis once again looking to bust down mid as well as take A control, excuse me. Jimmy stops him for the moment.
Jimmy can be such a frisky A-main player. Sometimes it's hard to keep him under wraps, and I think this round a prime example of it. Already deep peek in with an opening kill. He sticks around a bit, frees up Brolin to go rotating over to try to add defense to a bomb site that looks incredibly compromised. I mean, we can hear the wall bangs coming out. We can see Spinks trying to scramble for control. His rotation's been smoked off, so Spinks on full display here. Almost getting a second frag. Xerxon activates, and then suddenly, caught on the side of smoke, Device is able to peel Brolin off the moment. Now, Xerxon didn't waste his chance to compromise the Cade. Jabby, come on! He doesn't get a clean opportunity, wants a little more, and that is going to be MOUZ to rebound in round 5.
It was just a centimeter from like just a perfect shot, and I think he would have taken it if it was clear. But yeah, his head was just right halfway around the corner, and Jabby was too low to risk him turning back. So that round goes south for Astralis. A good recovery from MOUZ. They had mid control, so they had a player jumping up heaven, plus they had the 3 players in B, and Spinks, I think, was very smart to stay active in that spot, because even if it's a flat angle, the teaser coming in from cave to clear it out, if he gets a kill alone, that's enough with the amount of other players that are around.
Fast one out for middle stair, lucky to be alive. I mean, blind and spraying awkwardly.
They all were.
He's got a teammate with him, that's true. Just the entire clash.
Look at the A side, it's already taken.
Kind of made ugly. We'll see if Brolin can take over middle so that Torji can turn around. There was a world where he was able to stop Jabby from getting up into Temple. Now that is no longer the case, and it looks like a mid play is a little more drawing for him. Torji, oof, missed it twice, right? That player crossing over to Temple doesn't look like a, oh, there it is, a little shoulder spotted. But
this is wild, because Stair's going over to B.
You see,
like, how can you be ready for this?
I tried to make that point back on Nuke, where like, Stair, you just lose track of the guy.
Yeah, it's true.
A map like an Ancient, dude, this guy's just out in the jungles.
No, that's such a good way to characterize it.
Swimming through the mud, sitting on 1 HP, 3 kills this round. And this is going to be critical economic damage that he's able to rack up versus a MOUZ that had a chance at early CT success.
That was so presumptuous, because you had MOUZ who were actually in a position to try to retake. Stair was so far out, but catching that rotate early just shows MOUZ how done Astralis feel the round is. No money again. I set it back on Nuke, man. You can't start slow every single time and expect to close out. You can't have every pistol converted against you and simply win the game. Not when you will have your own inconsistencies.
That's that kind of emotion that I think Astralis are trying to tap into.
Definitely want to give a lot of respect to both teams for making it this far in the series. Brolin's a new IGL, but he's actually had some good halves. Okay.
Good setup. That's a USP to just bait the M4 in. Spinks still a part of this pack. Brolin should never be allowed to get away with a USP kill, but here we are. 2 casualties out middle. Astralis remain intact. This 3-player core quickly climbing up to try and get away from this M4. Gotta be careful! Spinks comes back at it, his 2nd frag of the round. This is one of those moments Astralis are never supposed to let MOUZ back in. Brolin again gonna try to test this. Gets caught on the side of that smoke. I like that Device extends up, and I like that Device is off to this type of a start, right? 6 and 4.
They're coming in slowly. I don't really know if they have a world where they think they can actually win the retake, but they don't know Device is just floating out here in the open. So just looking to punish exits. But I just want to give a lot of respect to both teams for making it this far, even in this series, because you do see halves from both sides that aren't great. Some are great. And for Astralis, that's like an uptrend in performance. But it's also for MOUZ, who Brolin is just getting his toes wet as an IGL. And I think even seeing the T half of Inferno, where he made that comeback happen, those are the moments that are really important for building towards like a good future. And he's got massive shoes to fill with Shuhei, and well, it's in the name, I guess.
Trying to grow and improve is a great goal, but today, right now, map 3, not what's on their mind. That's the slow road MOUZ will have to build. Tonight, it's about a chance at grand finals. And Astralis making the most of it. Early days on this T side. Flashed it. Cowering in the corner here is Katie, and Nade drops him down to 40. Stair could get fast. Oh, they line up, but it's just damage. Good enough. Spinks clears 2 and a 3rd.
What a hold.
Able to stop everything now just to the sidearm. USP with it.
What a monster.
If there is one thing that MOUZ were supposed to have with Spinks inclusion, it's the firepower.
Man, that should have been a play.
And that pile of corpses, his.
That USP as good as an op. Cadian is just left wandering. This should have been a site that they could plant on. Cadian coming in to make things strange. Maybe could have turned it into a lurk. Instead, it's just an incredible hold from Spinks while his 2 teammates died in the back of the site.
Welcomes the wallbang. Xertion drops him.
That's clean rifle work.
It's a much needed pop-off moment from one of the MOUZ members.
Wow.
Oh, how the tide has shifted.
They have really won him over.
2 players who were tagged up very well by Brolin. The USP kills icing on the cake. And there's a certain level of consistency that Spinks has been able to bring forward in this MOUZ jersey that they need. Nice of him to offer that in round 8. Numbers for Astralis outside of the A site, and the defense is really just banking on Torji and Donut.
Yeah, I mean, you can avoid mid, but it's still going to come back to haunt you. We've got the double donut set up as we've got Astralis now looking at the A play, but this just looks like too simple of a call to be able to work out as easily as they hope. Full B control, and Astralis will respect this. This is nice. This is something that Astralis haven't done all the time. They've decided to just keep a quiet map, go for the exec, but they realize something's wrong.
Jabby maybe raising that red flag. Spinks confirming lower ramp control for the MOUZ camp. Minute to the clock.
And CT's peeled back out of deep B control.
He gives Xertion a flashbang so that he can set him up to re-engage on ramp. Spinks wants a piece of this, but he goes at it a little too soon. He's not wrong. They are gearing up to get ever closer, but he just kind of makes that move before Astralis are truly in position.
The only molly on the side of the CTs is over on A.
Device is going to offer up 2 smoke grenades. That's going to block off both lanes of this B site. Brolin's going to be key inside of Cave. Trade found immediately, and there's no additional damage done. So I think Astralis is content with this. Spinks at bat again!
Oh!
Locks down 2 kills. Bomb in the dirt. Off opened up.
Wow.
And MOUZ are going to swarm onto an Astralis that tiptoed their way into their graves.
Wow, there's no need to overanalyze these past couple of rounds out of Spinks. He shuts that down off of his own individual level again. This round comes down to time a touch, but it's overall the map control that burns the clock off. Spinks supplants his teammate's position inside of Cave, and that 2K with the dodge of the flash is all they need to make sure there's absolutely no chance. Like, even if Spinks gets 1 less kill there and 1 less kill the round before, these are situations where Astralis could plant. So maybe the round would have been lost anyways. But the fact is, now Spinks is crushing their economy as well as winning these situations.
Gaining back that bit of momentum they earned with the pistol win. B bomb site looking solid. But again, still a good look within that round just to tap back into it. The fact that Astralis didn't go sprinting into what could have been the A stack, right? They feel aware of the threats, and prepared to try and piece together solutions. They just can't seem to get Spinks out of the way.
Yeah, seriously.
He takes to the top of the charts, 9 and 6.
But I think if Astralis, if their approach is to try one extremity, then realize that MOUZ are definitely going to be taken over mid, then go back to the other, they won't have enough time to do that. It is a long pendulum all the way through spawn to try every round, and their odds don't really shoot up just because they started to go B, right? There was still just 2 players holding on A. They just had donut control, and they knew mid was open. And if there was someone in mid, they would have heard it. Then they had 3 players over on the B side. Astralis need to think more about middle. Yeah, or just go for a full B attack. That's also valid.
Interesting one. We've got this solo op on the field. Let's see what Device can do. Throw a wrench in the works, maybe. Smoked off won't help, but okay, go for the boost. Maybe he finds this player trying to... Oh!
Hey, where'd my chair go?
Luckily, he's got another teammate to stand on. Ooh. Looking extra tall. But MOUZ positioning going to keep players safely tucked into the cave instead.
I think they fully heard this boost, so I don't know if they'll simply swing into this.
Yeah, you should know better than to take this Pete, Spinks. You can do it with a flash if you want to. Challenge here for Device. He can jump spot, though. That's a nice way to get back into it. But obviously, Astralis aware that clearly MOUZ having ideas to what's up, so odds are he won't give you a second chance to pull that trigger on him. Device using this as an invitation to try to find different angles, different positions. And right now, CT is doing an excellent job of dodging him, but that does allow him to get ever closer, and that means the pistols are going to follow him up this ramp. Again, at a moment's notice, CTs could swing and everybody could die here, but Device finds that one critical first shot. Jimpack gets the wall bang, dies right after, and that op changes hands. Now Stare has it, and Cadian's got the Deagle up to try to give cover. Again, comfortable for MOUZ, but this looks doable. If not for Brolin, who brings it back, surely not with just the Deagle. Stare's got the cover, but they're able to swarm back around it. MOUZ tie this game at 5.
Hey, Astralis always make it scary with these pistols sometimes, and it's a good opener from Device as well. Like you said, there's a certain point where he's got so much space, he's gonna set up a decent shot, and the pistols were right there on his heels. So the game goes 5-5. The Heineken Tower is complete.
Nah, they're just getting started.
Yeah, true. It's just the first one.
Second semifinals incoming. This is the appetizer. Don't fill up. Falcons versus FaZe next.
I think they're trying to make the Astralis logo. To the bars.
Ooh. Into middle. Oh. No, that one. Of all the rounds Astralis have given us on this D side, that one not so pretty.
Well, maybe that's why they haven't been trying middle.
To be fair, I feel like MOUZ have leaned back slightly in comparison to this round. They thought maybe they'd get through that elbow smoke. They end up looking foolish. And I mean, a 2v5? Never. Right? Stown able to get up from top ramp. He's got the bomb on his back, but blindsided. And now that's total control of round 11 here for MOUZ. So again, it's a half that could have started stronger if they were able to convert their pistol. But I hear Jimmy spamming dead bodies, folks.
Yeah. Well, we have Ime here, and you remember that game, Spirit versus Na'Vi, and how much of that game came down to mid-control?
Yes,
they
sir.
just agreed that even if it gets extremely ugly inside of middle, this is what matters on Ancient right now. If you're the best team or you're better at taking this spot, you're going to fight for it no matter what. And here, as soon as Astralis decide to participate for the first time, they get crushed. They get stopped.
Big triple kill from Jimmy.
I don't think Astralis can avoid this problem. Like, if they could go again for the straight sight hit in the beginning of the rounds, if they full commit, but the rotation's back without mid-control, I don't know. Here comes the A hit.
Gonna fall back, drops the utility. He hears Stairs stomping towards him. Smoking Donut makes it weird, but the Opera rotates over. Nice line from Torji.
Oh.
We've got an opening attempt at the B side, but there's no bomb behind this. Sure, you kill Brolin, but what does that draw back?
Wait, this is kind of wild. I mean, this is a full commit with these two rifles while the pistols are on the other side of the map with a bomb. I mean, this will at least elicit a bomb plant.
Yeah, it's kind of working.
Yeah.
You'd think that Jabby is never really going to get a chance to get all the way back over, but
the CTs are still retaking B, guys.
Nobody has noticed. Now they have. They're starting to double back.
Oh, Katie, don't. If he throws a mulligan.
Oh, no. Oh. Jabby actually still able to offer some kind of helping hand. And they're going to go. They're already running past Donut.
They don't even see the shadow.
We've got that gun back sight and device. He's got to offer a distraction. Cadian's able to hit the back of the head. What more can he do here? His teammate needs him. Device was trying to buy time. There's a frag for the diffuser. There's damage on Xerxin. He's still got 48 health, and he's on the diffusal. They've got that.
Okay.
MOUZ able to recover a half after Astralis posted 5 quickly.
Maybe if Cadian took the fight on the first one, I mean, but either way, it's a hard decision because he's probably only going to get one in that spot.
Also, Smoke's covering it.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Xerxin has cover to go hit sight.
True.
Hell, I mean, I'll give Astralis props for even getting that bomb down.
You almost never see a fake like that because the bomb is there with one other pistol. The B walk up with 2 rifles at least gets kills. Jabby does a good job of grabbing a second. They made it confusing, but MOUZ still get their 7th. Just like that, the half's done. All things considered, I feel like if that half played out, and again, this is because Astralis are doing a great job of either winning the pistol or converting. Their first half always looks solid. MOUZ were clearly the better team there.
We saw some solid looks from Astralis with that forced by round win. I think making the most of some weird moments too, right? Getting bombs down when it was just that one op on device, for example. But it is very clear that MOUZ won middle.
They won middle. Spinks was the better B player. They had great sight holds. And yeah, a couple of awkward moments. And as it all pans out, we've got MOUZ 7-5 in the lead.
Final half of this matchup. And it's going to be a slow start out of the B gate. Look at this lean back from Astralis. Cadian is going to have his hands full. Now, he does have the kit, so if he dies, that's good for the retake. You know, my one concern is Cadian was being praised by the analysts coming in and showing good performances in the semifinals. He's sitting 6-12. How clean's that USP going to look? Not so much. That's him to drop the kit inside of the smoke. And of course, with the T-smoke down at his feet, it's going to be a difficult retake for them to try to push through. Look at the way MOUZ have leaned forward onto this retake attempt. They're still just going to try to burst their way through, but they're met by another smoke. And Astralis never even given a chance at this retake. Again, you've got the kit. If you really want to push, they're going to try their chances, but they are just met by resistance. The T's are up in their face, and this is MOUZ to win both pistols on the deciding map of this series.
Okay.
Torji helps as Xerxin sends their heads spinning.
Welcome to FaZe. All right, so here's the moment, okay? We're 6 pistols deep. MOUZ have never won a pistol and a conversion. They broke the curse by winning a pistol. But if they don't get that round right after, it doesn't matter, because then it's going to be 3 back for Astralis. Here's where we find out if MOUZ can win their first anti-eco.
What kind of challenge do Astralis throw out? Well, it's one that features a single MP9. And it's not one that takes control of cave or tries to even pressure lane or even takes a fight out middle. This is Astralis just leaning back for a moment. You know, it feels to me like MOUZ have been able to kind of power up. Contrast to the first half of this semifinals when they were just timid in their bomb sites. It's really thick wood, nice oak. Xertion, angle inside of the cave. I mean, the pieces are in the right position. Astralis, they're getting their defense into the stack. A flashbang into cave could be disastrous here for MOUZ.
Jimmy's playing anti.
Oh, Stown misses the first shot. Deagle on the doorway, MP9 behind him. Device, do you swing all the way in? He'll go trying to jump forward.
No commitment from Cadian.
Looks a little awkward. Spinks comes up from ramp. He'll find one while jumping, and they do indeed vacate this bomb site of Astralis players. There's a challenge put forth, but it's MOUZ on 9.
It's their first pistol and conversion of the entire series, and what a time to do it.
All right, buddy, you start it.
Yeah, you got to start it.
Good luck.
Cadian could probably start it while he's playing. Well, this is a bad sign for Astralis, isn't it? First pistol and conversion. This is already a lead here for MOUZ. This is the scariest it's been here for Astralis, and the wave is officially going, folks.
Yeah, the wave of MOUZ round wins. Red room popped open. You got 4 players up in there. Xertion ready to challenge through. It's not pretty, but he gets there. Couple taps out. You guys got to keep this going until the round's over so everyone at home can see. You've committed now. You'll entertain yourselves as this unexciting anti-eco comes to a close. Keep
I've got surround sound right now.
Clean as can be.
There we go. I know some people's thighs are getting tired.
It's a Counter-Strike craving a decade in the making. A return to a city that once held a Counter-Strike major. Gotta say, well received.
Yes. Everyone's been fantastic.
Back to the gun rounds, 3 away. This one looks a little weird. Looks like a tech out of spawn.
They just wanted to watch the wave. This crowd today is Jimmy versus Astralis.
Yeah, it is.
Who will win? Well, Jimmy's tied for first in terms of kills at the top. Get one more round restart here.
I think it's quite a contrasting difference to what Astralis first walked out to, but it's got to be said, the quality of Counter-Strike they've brought to the stage looking better than quite some time. Everybody loves a showman. It's been a long time since Cadian's really had results that he could be truly proud of.
Yeah, that's true.
Talked about Device not being in a grand finals since 2021. Cadian not being in one since 2023.
I mean, for Astralis as an org, that they won. They started out winning 4 out of 5 majors. Now they've missed 4 in a row. That is, a crazy thing to have to say, especially considering they are the premier Danish organization. They're the team that everyone recognizes. the reason that you walk down the street in Copenhagen, people might know Astralis before they even know esports. That's how, you know, big this team is. Their history, storied their history is as well. They're trying to get back there. That's pretty much the only bar they have. They've stuck to Danish players all these years.
I mean, Mohan,
they've tried it. Everyone that you can think of, really. Like in terms of, you know, it's Config, Blame F, every upcoming star even, Stare. They paid a lot of money for him. They've tried to create a situation where they can get the most out of the current best Danish players, bring them in the... They have Cadian on this team. That is the last player that you would expect to ever see wearing an Astralis jersey. They want to win again, and they are willing to try anything.
Well, I'll add to that bleakness. The last time Astralis, as an organization, were in a big event LAN Grand Finals, was with that all-time winning team, 2019 in Bahrain. The last trophy they lifted. We haven't seen them in there since.
The World Final in 2019. Unbelievable.
Big events have not featured this logo in a Grand Finals. It is as simple as that. And it didn't feel like coming into the playoffs, this was gonna be their chance. But seizing the day yesterday versus MongolZ, a massive win. And a chance to do it versus MOUZ. But again, you've got to find some kind of an uptick because recently MOUZ are the more winning team. And on an individual level, they are tapping back into that. Jabby has disappeared, Cadian gone, Stown non-existent. The reason they were able to beat the MongolZ is because individually, Astralis started shooting back.
Oh man, Cadian's walking away. They're taking the A site. There's this window lurk. They didn't come back to take over middle control. At least Cadian gets a kill. That one's so important. That one is so important.
Cadian stuck between 3 separate fights, doesn't have tempo, doesn't have red room. His donut player and Device is just holding off on middle. No fight for him to be into. And so it's a comfortable moment here for MOUZ early on the T side too.
Just for a moment though, Xerxin has to play his cards right, and he does come out for the peak. Doesn't die, however. 4 HP.
Stare gonna try to join up with Cadian, and if you can dodge that red room fight, then there's still room for Astralis to pull this retake off. Bomb at the halfway point, Brolin peeks out, and Xerxin ends up getting that kill to Donut. Stare, a bit of an X factor. He's got to go for the frag while that bomb burns. Xerxin sees it coming.
Incredible.
Rips the head off, and Xerxin putting forward a performance on a big stage. That is what MOUZ need.
Xerxin's the kind of player, doesn't matter how much HP he has, he doesn't get scared. He still plays his percentages perfectly. In fact, he's got different ways of playing at different stages of health, and he knows how to use his HP to his advantage. They got him close to dying every single peak, but they never took him out, and he kept advancing his position. One of the most annoying players to play against when he's on form, and he is right now. Astralis don't have a single rifle to defend against series point. Grand Finals point.
Spinks, fast fight. Oh, MP9s, but a team kill. As if that's what Astralis can afford at the moment. It was a 5v4 in hand. An awkward move back from Stare, but at least grabbing the AK off of the dead body. And he'll peel back from Stown. I mean, it feels like Astralis in this kind of a position, trailing by 6 rounds, still have to make proactive moves. They attempt that, but Jimmy is just simply too sharp. And as they try to jiggle on that corner with the Deagles, Yimvat calling for his teammate to slowly work in. Jabby getting pinched from both sides. And so MOUZ will skate through this CT side like it's nothing.
Yeah, this is the first time they are in the lead. It'll have to be Astralis to make the comeback. They did it yesterday versus the MongolZ, 2 maps in a row. They showed us some great CS. But at this point, it's looking like they're the weaker team in both halves. They need to go to a level of Ancient that, once again, just like Nuke, they can do. It's just that today, is it there? They didn't seem to believe in their tools of taking mid-control in the first half. Now they're running into so many money problems. And it's very possible that they go out of this game in a whimper. Astralis with the full investment, get this single kill on Spinks as they listen to the bomb tick and MOUZ hit 12.
It's a bleak feeling when you're down at the bottom of the scoreboard. 4 kills to Stown's name. And his team trailing by 7 elimination points. MOUZ obviously just breezing through this third one. The only time that there was any kind of success for Astralis. Forced by win in round 2 They had 5 of the first 7 rounds in this map, and they have not won one since.
Elimination looms.
Silver lining for the Danes, working with guns, full-blown rifle round, and a chance for Rugga to come in to smooth things over.
Yeah, at least they've got an op for this. Device can put up a final stand. We haven't been saying his name too much.
What happened to those Astralis chants? Things have gotten quiet as the Danes fizzle out in Cluj, exceeding expectations, earning a big win versus MongolZ. That one shocked the world. It's been a roller coaster of a weekend for Astralis. 7 consecutive needed. Not able to put a dent in mid-control throughout the first 12. They chuck out a few grenades to try to stop Xerxin, but I mean, this guy is a boulder when it comes to rolling forward with momentum. Doesn't actually follow through, and that's going to create a question mark for the Danes to have to deal with.
Again, MOUZ take one look into mid, see no one there. They said, hey, we'll show up for the scrap. We'll meet you in the schoolyard. There's Astralis coming in late to get some info back, and this is actually a great move from them. They'll now make an informed choice to rotate over to the B site. They still don't have confirmation, and Cadian gets spotted. Now he's in danger of getting mollied. This boost.
Yep. Sees it. Battle of the Oppers.
So awkward because he allowed Torzi to see him too.
And I mean, that's numbers confirmed at least, I suppose, for Astralis. You understand what the MOUZ opening move would have been?
Yeah,
but do they really realize how many bodies are behind that boost? Because it wasn't just the Opper and his one booster. Spinx is going to take some tag damage.
No, they don't know that.
Astralis are trying to get a bit more aggressive down in middle, trying to make a move of their own, getting active, but that's just going to put them on a silver platter.
Oh.
Spinx has been the difference.
He sniffed that out.
Xerxin with deep control into this A-bomb site. Astralis will come scrambling over as they have not been able to find a foothold throughout this critical third map. MOUZ with a late roster change, the most criticized move of the offseason, and they prove that Brolin can call. They step forth in a mighty MOUZ moment for grand finals.
It's a beautiful moment here for MOUZ because they crushed on map 3. They showed some inconsistency, but with